righty, here we go. I think everything's working. Had a bit of a scare a little while ago because the internet turned off for like an hour. It would kind of work and then off, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to stream. So here we go. And unfortunately, like, Kit's not here today, and she normally knows how to talk to Xfinity, but yeah, Xfinity. Get it worked out, but I think I got it all worked out. But she's not here today because she's doing her civic duty as a poll worker, because we have like a voting thing going on here in Georgia today, like elections. Harper's not here either because he thought I was streaming tomorrow because I've been switching my days up. So I'm here all by myself. Tap might come in here and talk a little bit. And so, yeah, I'm not as organized as I thought I would be. Just as normally there's always weird things going on. I hope everybody's doing well. It's been a while since I've been on the live stream. I've been working on a lot of stuff, and I'm going to show a couple of those here in a minute. But a lot of mixing stuff. I had two bands in here that oh, hey Casey, what's going on? I was going to do these fly on the wall live streams, but neither of the bands wanted to do the live streaming thing. I don't think they quite. One band I think was a little embarrassed because they're young and they're really new. Although they were cool. I mean, they weren't perfect, but really cool. It would have been a good stream. The other group is people a little bit older, and I don't think they quite understand streaming. I don't know if what they thought was going to happen. It was very weird. There's conversations I don't think they quite got it, and they were here. Both of them were here, and it was all good, but I couldn't. They wouldn't let me stream, so it was like I wasn't able to do any live streams. So anyway. Let's see. Mixed Club. Kit is not here today. And the other thing is kind of crazy about it. I didn't realize it till yesterday. Today is mine and Kit's 26th year anniversary. But she's working the elections and I'm doing this, so maybe we'll be able to go out later tonight. Let's see. Smoke Spun is here. Oh, it was weird. There were comments last night on the live stream and then they all disappeared. I don't know what happened to them. People were kind of predicting what was going to happen. No, I obviously did not dye my hair. I'm not going to Jamaica to record an album. What was the other things? There was some other kind of crazy stuff people thought. It's not as exciting as that, I don't think. Let's see. I've got Two-Headed Monsters here. Randy is here. John's and 2, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. You all have such weird. Stargirl Music is here. Not a lizard person is here. Yeah, not a lizard person. You commented last night. I don't know what happened to all those comments. They disappeared. Mr. SJK is here. Let's see. Michael Hennessy, what's going on? I see Daniel. The morning woke up dead. Whoa, dang. Of course, Casey's here. Harry Stark is here. The World of Nada is here. Nice to see y'all. Smoke Spun is here. Society Sound. Hey, what's going on? Esco, what's going on? Two-Headed Monster and Dope Scope Music. Yeah. No, I'm not moving into a larger space, although I could use it. I mean, and there's more space in the house. It's why my living room got turned into a drum room, which, I've been using a lot lately, and I expanded into the garage. I got the amp room out there. I was actually looking at it. As far as a recording space, I'm kind of out of space. I've got to build shelves just to crack, because I keep buying stuff, like just because I'm into thrift stores and just weird shit, and I collect things. So I've got to build these shelves. I'll probably live stream it just because what the hell else, why not? But I keep not getting around to that. Oh, Soul Machine's here. What's going on? Steve Yeager Music. Chavez, Bruno. God, I can never say any, but hey, what's going on from Brazil? What's up? Photosyngia. So anyway, so here's what's going on. This is the surprise, and I hope I didn't oversell this thing. But as many of you have seen on my live streams, I've been working on my own music, and I guess I started doing that because it was just a fun thing to do, and I got into music to do original music. I wasn't necessarily trying to be a producer or a mixer full time. I learned how to do that stuff so I could record my own music, and then I started doing more production and mixing, and I did it for many, many years. And several years ago, I started to get back into my music, and then my life took another change. I have a complicated life. Things don't always go as planned, and I got sidetracked. But then with the live streaming and working on the music videos, and also or working on the music in the live streams, but also putting some of my music into my regular YouTube videos, people started commenting on it. So I've been like, oh yeah, I'm going to put out an album. I'm going to put out an album. And Crystal keeps saying, Billy's going to put out an album. But at a certain point, it's like, it's a lot of work just to get all that together. Like, you know, to get the mixes done. I mean, you know how it is, but also like the artwork and just like, you know, you got to get on the Bandcamp and TuneCore and all that. And I've had some issues with TuneCore. That was another thing that's holding me up. And I didn't really settle it, but it's a long story. It's kind of complicated, but basically this channel here is my official artist channel. Although I'm putting my music on another channel, and I'm going to show that to you in a second. And I'm hoping everybody will go over there and subscribe. It's Billy Hume Music. Billy Hume Music is my other YouTube channel, and I've only got a few hundred subscribers there. Right now it's at 250. Maybe we can get it up a little higher. And I'm going to show you something on there. So what everything's been leading towards is actually putting out my own music again and doing a music video, which I promise I'm going to show you in a minute here. But it's been more emotional and difficult to do than I realize, because I've done music videos for other people, and I kind of put out a music video several years ago when I was starting to work on music again, but I wasn't actually in the video. But now I'm in the videos, and I'm like, oh, look at me, I'm old, and like, what am I going to do in a music video? It's not like I'm a young guy and what am I going to dance? And, you know, it's like, what do I do in a fucking music video? You know, I don't know. So I got Tap to come in and direct it. But it's also the whole thing of like, it's been a long time since I had a band. I don't even have a band now, but it's been a long time since I put out music. Basically, it's a whole other head trip. So that's what I'm doing today. So I'm going to put something out. And I hope everybody will go look at it. Like, I'll play it here, but please go watch it and like it. And actually, let me get Tap down here. I guess Tap should be here when I actually play it for the first time. Hold on. Give me just a sec here. It's kind of difficult to get them down here sometimes. Let's see. Hold on. There we go. But yeah, even though I'm going to play it here on this thing, please go watch it on your own, like it, subscribe. Maybe I can get that channel monetized. Yo, come on down. I'm about to play this thing. Why don't you sit here while I play it the first time? All right. Come on. It's like, I'm on my way. That could take a little while. I'm also going to show a couple things. There's a couple interesting stories about what I'm about to show you, but I don't want to say too much about it until after I show it, because so anyway, the song that you're about to hear and the video, that's the first surprise, was actually in a music video that I did recently called The Reason Why Older Records Sound Better. And in that video, I was demonstrating about tuning and timing, and mainly tuning. And I was playing a section of a song that I was singing with my friend Sky. And I actually worked on some of this stuff during a live stream. There's 2 live streams out there that I think Harry's got the links for them. One of them I was working out, playing out parts and all that, and kind of doing it very loosely in a very vibey sort of way. And then on another one, I had Sky in here, Sky Keaton, singing on it. And I streamed that. And the thing that's interesting about that song is Sky and I actually worked on that song something like 20 years ago. And it was inspired by a friend of mine's daughter who had died of leukemia. And we worked on the song, but it just kind of got put away. And then I did other things, and I started working on country music and bluegrass, and I didn't see Sky for a long time. And then at some point, several months ago, I came across the track, and I was like, man, I really like that. There's something I could do on the live stream. I never finished it. I should put more instruments on it. And then I called Sky up, and I said, why don't you come out and sing on it? And they reminded me, like, oh, they'd written a whole ending to the song that we'd recorded, but I couldn't find the original version. So they said, well, they'll come out and re-sing it. And I didn't have all the individual tracks. I just had the 2-track. And although I was able to find the guitar tracks, it's kind of complicated. I found a Pro Tools session, but there's not all the tracks in there. So I had to kind of piece it back together and overdub on top of it. Sky came in and sang on it. And I I'm going to go into a little bit more about that. There's some really weird technical stuff that I had to do to get the song done. And there's actually going to be another song that's kind of like that I don't even think I played on the live stream. I might work on it next week. It's going to be on the album. It's damn near done. It wasn't quite 20 years ago, but it's something that if I just EQ it and add a couple harmonies to it, it's done. I have no idea where the sessions are at. I'm usually pretty good about backing up all my stuff and keeping them like, in a place where I can't find that one. I spent hours and hours in trying to start up old computers. But the mix actually sounds pretty damn good. So I'm just gonna do similar thing that I did with this one here. So let's see. I think Tap is almost down here. Come on down. You should be here. So anyway, I started to think, so this song that I'm about to play was in that music video. And a lot of people said, what's that song? What's that song? I thought, I'll throw it up on Bandcamp. But it's like, I got to mix it. And then I was like, I should make a music video. And my wife, Kit, was like, you should just do like a montage thing, just like various footage, which I thought of. And then I started thinking about it. And then I had Tap come in here. Tap, sit down here. And Tap was like, why don't we go down into Atlanta and film you walking around? I was like, sure. And then it was like, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And it turned into this whole thing. So it ended up taking a long time. When I should be actually working on mixes and all that, we're running around town filming stuff. And anyway, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and play it here. And I would encourage, like I said, after the stream, everybody please go and watch it on your run. And please subscribe to my Billy Hume music channel. So here we go. I'm going to play it right now. Oh boy, I'm nervous. Here we go. anything?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I realized. Okay, I got to start over.
Off?
I had the damn...
Oh my.
This is why Harper's supposed to be here telling me stuff. Like, okay, let's back up. Let's pretend that never happened. Hold on, let's go back. Hold on. Boom. There's the video. Boom. Okay. Wow, thanks everybody. Thanks for watching the video. Hey, I'm working here by myself. Normally Kit's here saying, hey, your mic's off. Harper's over there like, turn your freaking mic on. I'm just the guy sitting here. Anyway, let's start over. Okay, there's a few things about the video that I wanted to talk about. One is I hate filming outside in daylight. It's actually really, really hard to get a good shot, but it actually came off well. The other thing is when we started talking about working on the video, Tap was like, oh, you should play guitar in the video. And I'm like, you know, but I'm outside. Like, why would I have an electric guitar outside? I guess I'm always trying to be kind of literal about things. And sometimes people don't have their electric guitars plugged in the video, although I did make that mistake in one shot in here. But I thought, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to have an amplifier with me. So if you look at the video, I'm actually carrying a small mini amp on a strap attached to me that I plugged in and played sometimes during the video. Just wanted to say that. I actually was really playing guitar in that thing. What was the other thing?
You were complaining about filming in daylight.
Yeah, filming in daylight's really, really hard. But Tap, the other thing is I've got a Blackmagic camera that's really amazing, but it eats 2 batteries, and we were filming most of this really far away from a plug. So I actually filmed most of this using my ancient Canon 7D, which is actually really fun to use. So all the shots in Atlanta are on the Canon. Most of this video is the Canon 7D, which, if you look closely, you can see it's not quite the resolution. It's not quite as clear, but it's got a really cool vibe to it. What was the other thing I was going to talk about here? Yeah. So, as I said before, this was a track I started 20 years ago, so we had to overdub on top of it. There's a lot of weird technical issues with that. But the filming of it was, like I said, very, very, very difficult. And hold on, I want to show a couple things here. Let me get this out of the way right here. Let me go like this. I want to show a couple things. First off, so Tap here helps me with a lot of the stuff on my channel. And like all my thumbnails, because I'm not a visual person and I don't know much about filming and I don't have a really strong opinion about it. So I've basically bullied Tap into being involved in all this stuff. But Tap's like totally obsessed with movies and often is like citing different directors in movies like, oh, this shot's like this and this shot's like this. Although in this video, there's something I call the Forrest Gump shot. If anybody can figure out where that's at, I'd be interested. I think it looks exactly like a ripoff of something from the Forrest Gump movie. So
Kinda.
I think it's like a Forrest Gump shot.
Well, it's a common shot used just in film in general. Like it's the yeah. You know what I mean.
You see how Tap talks to me?
That's
I'm always wrong with everything. Okay, I want to show you guys a little something about the kind of stuff I put up with while I'm filming. I just want you to know things. It's great to have help, but it's not always easy. Here we are. So there's a shot in the video. We went downtown, and I said, "Oh, it'd be cool if we saw some trains, right?" And so we got this shot right here. We were down there filming near what is this place again? This is
I don't know.
No, down where Krog Street.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Krog Street. And we could see the subway station, the MART up there, and Griffin or Tap was like, "Hey,
Oh, for this shot.
yeah, look at the train." And and like an idiot, I fucked the shot up because instead of watching the whole train, I did this. I don't have the audio of
You looked for like 1 second and then you looked away.
Yeah, look at this. Watch this.
You ready? Get just yeah.
What? I stopped the camera, but I got like reamed out for that. Like, why did you look away? I don't know. And then we were like, oh, we should get another some more train shots. And so we were driving around West Atlanta, and there's a bunch of train tracks going through there, and there was like barbed wire fencing and all this stuff. You can't get there. But as we're driving by, there was this weird alleyway next to some brick building and some homeless camps over there. And I looked down, it's like, hey, the fence is open right there. We can go in there. So we drove down there and ran out on the tracks, and we did some of these shots here.
It's gonna start rolling.
Check the focus real quick.
I did.
Quick. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, film.
It's filming.
Filming?
Yeah. Here, stand.
Did you get it?
Stand still.
What?
Stand still. Man. I forgot about that.
It's like, you just said, I don't know what to do. It's like, stand still. Like, what am I supposed to do? Oh, I should have.
Stop. Look that way. Stop it. Stand still. I kept walking.
Stand still. It's like, what? Just stand. What do you want me to do?
It's good B-roll. I don't know. Maybe we can move it using the video. Maybe it's B-roll. You never know.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Keep looking away. No, keep looking away.
See, you never say cut. You also never say rolling.
That's true.
You never say rolling. You never say cut.
I say rolling.
What do you like? Go wrong.
Yeah, I go. We're rolling. No,
Here,
I say rolling.
Okay, like now you told me to walk away, but you didn't give me
right over
any
there.
specific instructions here. And I'm also wondering if the police are going to show up, or those two homeless guys over there. They're homeless guys or Russian mafia dudes. I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
A bit more.
They're in that pile of junk over
They
there.
were just hanging out, listening
Not
to
down
music.
the tracks. This
Were
way.
they listening to music?
They were listening to music.
I don't know what the fuck they were doing over there. It was very weird. But I thought the police were going to come. Like, we weren't necessarily supposed to be here.
Right there.
Look at my face. I have no idea what's going on.
Just stand for now. Come over here. Come this way.
Should have
Actually,
done
yeah,
the
this
focus
side.
a little differently.
Yeah, I mean, we need to get a
then
follow
walk
focus
that way.
for some of these
that-
shots.
A
Like,
lot of that, I was just kind of like, okay, we'll just try whatever, see what sticks.
yeah.
Which obviously some of that worked. So
Well, with these, I think we need to get, you know what a follow focus is, right? Don't you?
yeah,
So we need to get one of those for the camera because, I mean, I hadn't really thought about it lately because I'm just shooting video in the studio. But now that we're doing music videos, because when I was doing music videos for clients, kept meaning to get one, and I would just practice, you know. But we really need to get one for some of this stuff because we just need it. Yes, Sup Mellow, I am a bad actor. Yeah, for sure. And then the other thing that was kind of interesting is Tap, you've not seen this is footage that did not make the video for a damn good reason. This is like the last shot. I had to do a couple extra shots in a different location, and so I was off with a help, but I started doing a goofy little whatever. This is here. I thought, I'll try spinning.
That's my alarm. Forget about that.
And then I tripped over the playback machine. I thought I broke some things.
I've had enough of this crap.
And that was it. That was the last shot. We were done, finally.
That was...
That was the last shot. Except for the little kalimba thing that we did.
the close-up?
The high frame rate, or the high shutter speed. And then there's another thing, though. So this is kind of an interesting part of the video, too. So, I wanted to we filmed some stuff. We can film out here on my property because I've got a land, but I needed to get together with Sky, who might be on the stream right now. I don't know if Sky is here or not. Oh, Sky, there is Sky. And so Sky's singing on the video with me and co-wrote the song, but we needed to meet up somewhere else. It's just a long way to drive out here. So I started looking at parks that we could go to that were kind of more in between us. And I found this one. And when I was looking on the map, I was like, oh, that looks familiar. That name looks familiar. And then when we went there, I realized this park where me and Sky filmed is actually a park. It's the first place I started taking my wife, Crystal, before we were dating, but I was just trying to hang out with her. So I'd like get her on the motorcycle. Hey, let's go to this park. And it had all these fields and had these two massive oak trees. And we would go sit in the oak trees and blow bubbles and stuff like that. And we called one of them the Tree of Time. So we called it the Tree of Time Park, which is why I didn't know the name of the park, because we'd sit up there and it would seem like time would last forever. And we went back several years ago and it had overgrown. And then when we went back to shoot this video, it's like all the fields are gone for most of there are some fields, but it's now all overgrown. So this shot right here from the music video, probably saw this shot here. After we were done filming the Sky, we went and walking in the woods and we found one of the oak trees. This is one of the oak trees that we used to sit in. It's still there. The other one, I think, died and fell down. We found some... Yeah, this thing is massive. But we're talking like... And it's kind of funny. It's our 26-year anniversary, so this would have been like almost 30 years ago. Yeah, here's a better shot here. This is like back in the woods from where we were filming. Couldn't believe we found it. Yeah. So now we have a video. But yeah, this is the tree. We'd climb up there and sit up there in this tree and... just hang out. And then, I finally brainwashed her into liking me enough to, marry me.
Deku tree.
The other thing that's kind of funny for me is that, hold on, let me see if I can find it. So when we started filming, what is going on with my DaVinci here? I can't zoom out. What the hell's going on here? Let's see. Oh yeah, I just wanted to mention a couple things. Oh, okay. Here's what I call the Forrest Gump shot. This is the Forrest Gump shot right here. Oh, hold on. Let me go to full view. Come on, tell me. Look at this. Come on.
It's been like a decade since I saw Forrest Gump. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm pretty
like
sure...
the feather comes down, but
yeah,
it's
like
so... I mean, I love it.
Is it at the... Well, there's
I don't know. I think it happens a couple times in the movie. I should actually go look, but this is that's a Forrest Gump shot right there.
Maybe?
Yeah, and then we have what I call the Star Trek shot, which is right... Oh, and by the way, in case anybody's wondering, the reason that the kalimba, you can see the little metal things vibrating. that's something that if you are filming and you use an insanely high shutter speed, like 1,000, where I'm like usually 50ths of a second, there's like 1,000ths of a second, and you have to have a lot of lighting, you can get that effect. You'll see people do that with guitars. I couldn't remember how to do it, and Harper actually filmed this shot. This was like the one last shot I needed, so Harper was here. We did this, and we did one little walking video shot. So that's how we did that. And then we have what I call the Star Trek shot.
I still don't. Like, okay, I kind of get it.
Okay,
I think I remember that episode, but like, barely.
Star Trek original series, there's this one episode where they pick up these young people who are like, I guess they're going to go to a planet and start some utopian, like, hippie type thing. And, they filmed this stuff in the 60s, so they'll have these instruments, and they have, like, go-go boots on. They're like, yo, man. Or, like, they're not yo. They're like, hey, man, groovy. We're going to play music and all that. And they go to this planet, and it's like this beautiful planet. And I can't remember. I think the Captain Kirk was telling them not to go to this planet. But they go there, and they're like, we're going to go anyway, and it's all beautiful. And it kind of looks like this, like green with these beautiful flowers, but everything was poisonous and everybody got killed. They all ate, the plants killed them. This shot makes me think of that. But what's funny about this is that when we're filming this, I'm thinking we're going to go film over in this other area, because that's the thing about gets me about UTAP is that you always see things that I don't see, like, oh, this will be a good shot. So Ted's like, go sit, because I had to like climb down through all this stuff. I'm literally sitting in a bunch of poison ivy. Yep. Totally surrounded by poison ivy there. And I thought, this shot's terrible. Like, why would you have me sit there? But then looking at it, I'm like, oh, that's really freaking good. Oh, hold on, where was it? Oh, I just lost it. It actually worked out really, really good. That's why I work with you, because I would pick really stupid, boring shots. But yeah, this actually came out really, really good. I like that. And then, of course, doing all the different, angles and all that makes it easier to edit. So yeah. And there's a lot of other footage we didn't use. I filmed way more stuff than I would ever use. So anyway, this is, thanks to Tap for helping me on this. Let's see, what is everybody saying here? Let's see. Oh, there's another conversations going on here. Oh, Enya Sky Spins. Oh, yes, Enya. Hell yeah.
Does she have like a music video that has?
Probably. I mean, I'm definitely.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I'm definitely an Enya fan and all that. So this is the first surprise, and the song, by the way, is available on Bandcamp. I just put it up there last night. It'll be out on streaming platforms. I'm just dealing with some TuneCore stuff right now. I thought I'd have it ready by today, but you can go buy it on Bandcamp for $1, which I could use a little bit of support. But please, everybody, remember to go to my other YouTube channel and check that out. Let's see. So the other thing the second surprise that I wanted to show everybody today is another song. And this is a song I actually put out, years ago. I was at a point where I was like, I'm going to start working on my music again. And then, like I said, everything in my life, just things went in this other direction, and I started working on another project that was kind of a waste of time. I did make a music video for it, although it wasn't what you would call a normal music video. At that point in my life, I would sometimes make videos for my kids' birthdays. So I made one with Tap in it, but it ended up being like not the little 1 minute long video. It ended up being really long, and I put this song in it. I actually put this out a while ago, and then it just sat there. That song ended up in some of my YouTube videos, and people are like, oh, that song's really good. So I've been thinking, like, maybe I'll redo it, and I'll re-release the song. So it's out there now. I redid the video so that I'm actually now in the video. And I'm going to show that one, and that one is now out on YouTube as well. And I know it's kind of weird to put out two songs in the same day, but what the hell? I decided to do it anyway. But this video is actually about my mom. The
song, specifically.
The song, yeah, the song. The song is called Long Distance Runner. And the song is actually about my mom, because I always thought of my mom like a marathon runner. My mom was like a very positive, great, amazing person, but I felt like a lot of things in her life, like not everything was always easy, but she always had this perspective of just being very stoic and just kind of getting through things. So I wrote this about her. And when I thought about redoing the video about a month or so ago, I was gonna like put a bunch of pictures in the video of her. Like, oh, I'll just put a bunch of pictures of her in the video. Maybe I'll use some of this stupid AI shit where it like moves the pictures, but it never worked. Every time I tried it, it would start out looking like her, but by the time she turned her head, it looked like a different person. I was like, and I didn't have that many pictures. Like most of my mom's pictures are not what you would call candid pictures. They're all very posed. Like back from their generation, people didn't take pictures like they do today, where you're just taking pictures of everyday life. When people took pictures, it's like, oh, we're going to do a picture. Let's all dress up. And they're not like that cool a picture. So I decided to stick with the original video, which has mostly tap in it because it's kind of like a birthday video. I ended up putting myself in the video as well, so that it's more like a music video. So I'm going to play that now. This is also on my Billy Hume music channel, so please go check it out. And it's on Bandcamp as well, although I think that one's pay what you want type thing. So here we go. I'm going to play that one now. Here we go.
You've been around.
So that is Long Distance Runner, and just in case you're wondering, Tap doesn't normally just go around in like little Native American costumes. That's actually part of another project. Do you want to explain to them what that is? Here, scoot up a little bit. Come on, here.
I mean, that was so. This nerd, this guy here. This was how long ago?
Oh man,
Like
well, I mean,
12
well,
years
some
or
of that
something?
footage is from way back, but
But no, there was what was originally the idea? A short film or music video? Like
I thought it would. What was the original idea? I just thought it'd be kind of cool for y'all to like dress up in these costumes. I made all the costumes. I hand sewed leather moccasins. I made bow and arrows with real arrowheads on them. I've got leather. I don't know. I thought it would be like a music video, and then I thought I'd make it a short film. It's called The Hunters and the Hunted.
Yep.
And yeah,
We never finished it.
it's one of the things I feel really guilty about it.
And yeah, it was kind of hellish.
Yeah. I
That
found out
sucked.
years later that I think I traumatized them because I drug them all. Like some of the most beautiful shots, and they were actually filmed on top of a mountain in North Carolina.
Man, you brought us fucking it was cold as fuck. That shit sucked.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
it was
would be
miserable.
like hunched under a blanket when I was ready for the shot. Like, get out of here for your shot, and then they go get under this blanket. And then there was one where it got really cold, and we had to hike back down with all that gear and the cameras and everything. And God, who's texting me all of a sudden here? Hold on. Tell them. But what was the other half? The part they're not seeing.
Oh, right. Wow, excuse me. Yeah, no, it was the blah. My throat's dry as hell. Yeah, cuz in the shots in that music video just now, I'm wearing what was the well, it was like Hunters and the Hunted was the working title.
Yeah.
And the idea was that there's these alternate universes with me and my siblings where we're like in one we're like the hunters and we're all happy and super good and it's all colorful, and then there was the hunted. That one was fun because we actually got to wear real clothes and it wasn't cold as fuck. And I had a sick ass like leather whip as like a prop for my character. That was pretty fun. But
Yeah, and so we filmed that out in this like abandoned military nuclear facility type thing. It's not
Something-
radioactive anymore.
like that.
Yeah, so
Well,
that
for some of those, I mean, a lot of it we got around here. Some of it we got
Yeah.
in Charleston.
yeah, we did. And the shot where you're running and you're throwing the spear, I built a cable cam.
That was in Charleston, right?
Yeah, Charleston.
Yeah.
I literally actually think about this almost every single day that at some point I'm going to finish. The two ideas was that maybe
Is this chair?
did the chair break? Oh, you can grab that other chair over there. Grab that one.
can just boom.
That maybe every time, one of the concepts was that y'all would go to sleep because I have all these shots of y'all falling asleep like in a cave because there's like caves and stuff that we found in these cool little weird places. And then when you wake up, you're in the dystopian reality. And then when you go to sleep,
Yeah.
you're in the
And we
utopian reality. And in both realities, I'm in the video. Like in the dystopian one, I'm this like cannibalist guy, cannibalistic dude. And there's some shots.
I don't know what you were going for.
I don't know what the hell I was thinking. And then I'm hunting you because I'm going to try to eat you. But in the other one, I'm just kind of like this benevolent overseer that like helps you along the way, like leaves little gifts for y'all that y'all find. Like remember the cowhide? I was like, oh yeah, y'all found this huge cowhide thing. And I don't know. Oh my God, sometimes my ideas. So there's like this massive cowhide that I still have, but you know, for a little kid to hold it, it was like freaking 40 pounds. It's like, and then we thought, oh, maybe it's like we could actually do this. One of the ideas is that
What, the end of it, we wake up and we're older?
you're older.
Yeah,
y'all
we
are
could-
older
theoretically,
now.
we could still do
We're like,
that.
well, that's going to take years to get done. But now here we are years later. We could film the thing where y'all wake up and that it was
And-
all a dream, but y'all had the same dream. Like, hey,
But that doesn't really make much sense. Cause,
Does it have to make
if,
sense?
If we had done it like 7 years ago, and yes, we're older than when we filmed that video, or those shots for it, right? but like still you can see a resemblance. We look so different now. There's like nothing. You can't really, you know what I mean?
I mean, you look the same to me. You're still beautiful. I think all my kids are freaking beautiful.
But you're like weird. You're weird.
I'm weird?
You're weird, yeah.
What do you mean that I'm weird? You know what Sky said? Sky's never really hung out with us, and we were filming. Sky said, he's like your twin. Look,
That's
you're
like a curse.
you're a much nicer person than me, and you're way better looking, but we are very, very similar in many ways, whether you like it or not. You're kind of screwed. But I'm definitely weirder than you. I got you beat on the weirdness side, that's for sure. So we ended up. So that video originally did not have me in it, and then we went out and said, hey, let's film some stuff, and then so I had these like shots around the property, and Tap came out and filmed it, and Tap's like, I got this other idea. Why don't you go stand over there and walk in circles around me? And that's most of what we use. As usual, they always come up with really freaking good ideas. So, but now I have 2 songs out. I have 2 music videos out. I've got to put out the rest of the album, and I actually have I have my chart, okay? And some of y'all have seen this before. Oh, God dang it. Damn. Kind of big. Here. So, okay, we can mark off a couple things. I like marking things off. So right here we've got Aura, make video, that's done. And now I can cross off release.
You can barely see it.
Look.
Here, wait, no, hold it. Boom.
Here.
Yeah, there.
Okay, I marked that off. Now, I can mark off Long Distance Runner, it's released. Boom. Now, I've just got all these other damn songs to get done. Although,
what?
That may not be on there. Oh, hey, Sky, if you're still watching, I'm thinking about that song. Da da da. What the hell's the name of that damn song? I called it The Future Awaits, but you had another name. It was about Left Eye, I think. I was thinking about using that. It was the one that Polo wanted. God damn, this thing's too big. But anyway, a lot of these are almost done. Stranger Needs Work. If I could, it's mostly mixed and done. I just got to figure out a video for it. Hearts Aligned. I got to figure out the video thing. Wizalfo was talking about doing a 3D animation for it, but I don't know. Now that we're talking about it, it might have freaked them out because it's a big project.
It's a lot of work.
Dreamer is a song that actually Tap has helped me a lot with, and I've done a lot of work on it. I've got to put fiddle on it. I think Wizalfo's going to play fiddle on it, but it's a lot of work.
And possibly more vocals.
Possibly more vocals. And then I've got this song Secret I'm going to put vocals on. I might do this next week during the live stream. And Entropy's already released too. But for some reason my music video is not up. I don't know why. Maybe I never put the video out. I just figured this out last night. I do have another song that's going to be on the album that actually is on Bandcamp as well. That one's actually released. I made a video for it. And then somehow I can't find it's not on the YouTube channel. I just figured this out last night, like at 1 a.m. I'm like, didn't I make a video? It's just like in the studio. It's actually a really short song. The song's like maybe a minute and a half long. But and Poison, I gotta mix that and put that out as well. I guess the thing I'm wondering about is what do I do for a music video on some of this stuff? Like there's like that idea of the 3D animation that Wizalfo might do, but what are we going to do on these other ones? Anybody got any ideas? Tap, you got like, it's weird to think about doing music videos at my age. I'm just an old man now.
We could get a GoPro and attach it to a dog's collar, and then like a stray dog, and then we film where they wander, and that's the entire video. That's it.
But how would we, if we attach it to a stray dog, how do we get the camera back?
I don't know.
That's a part of the plan. I actually kind of like that idea.
No, what? Actually,
that might
cool.
Actually be kind of interesting.
I'm saying that. I'm joking though.
Oh, okay.
But it is anyway. I don't know. I mean, there's the whole idea with the we could 3D model of a ship, printed, painted, and then animated on top for Dreamer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I actually
know,
had this.
to figure
So
something
Dreamer is a song you guys have heard me work on the live stream. It's in 6/8 time, and it's like it sounds like you're sailing, right? I had this vision. It would cost a lot of money, but of an actual real set of us on a deck of a sailing
What?
ship.
Hell no, that would be expensive as
I
hell.
know, it's ridiculous. I was kind of high one night and I thought about it and I was like, this would be great, but we'd need like $100,000 to be able to film it. It's like, no, maybe we'll do it. So Tap's idea is that you draw the ship.
I would draw concept art, and then we'd like make in Blender or something. We'd make a 3D model.
Get Wizalfo to do that.
Yeah, and then we could 3D print that 3D model and then paint it painstakingly, little bit by bit, and then we could film shots of this ship, an airship. It would be like a cool airship, you know what I mean? And we'd film shots of that, and then we could animate. I would animate over the shots. Like if anyone here knows the dragon level in Cuphead. Exactly like that. Cuphead, the video game, uses a lot of 3D assets in the backgrounds of their levels, actually. And then they animate with 2D animation over it. So it creates a really interesting... it's just interesting. It's an interesting medium to make art. It's cool. So it's like the mix of 3D and... Anyway, yeah. But that was my idea. Get an actual physical model of like an airship, and then we paint it, we decorate it, you know, and then we'd get shots, and then I would animate in 2D over it. That's the idea, which would still be hard as fuck, but technically doable. So I don't know, it might be cool.
Yeah.
Who knows if we'll finish that? I don't know.
Yeah, and some of the
hope
videos might just be more like lyric videos. I just don't know what I would do. Oh, did the wheel fall
It
off
keeps
again?
falling out.
Get the other chair.
Which chair?
Get
that
get
one.
the nice one. Get the nice one over there. This is the longest Tap's ever been on one of my live streams. I'm always trying to get Tap to come on the live streams because Tap's just got so many ideas about filming and music and opinions, and just your mind's always blowing up with stuff. And I was going to ask you, like, where do you get your idea? Because, like, I tell you, almost everything I do, whether it's a thumbnail or video, I bring Tap in for ideas because I'm just like, why don't we? And they're like, eh. Where do you get all your ideas from?
What do you mean?
And it's a stupid.
There's a tiny gnome in my head that tells me secrets.
Oh, is that?
Do you not have one of those?
No, I have a muse, but she's usually off on vacation somewhere.
So is that just a me thing? Does no one else have a tiny gnome in their head that's like telling?
But you are
things?
inspired by directors. Who's that director? Anders. Wes Anderson. Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to cinematography, I do really like Wes Anderson's work. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that inspire me. And where do I get my ideas? I don't fucking know. Everything, sort of.
You know, it's weird. So when I grew up, my dad was a singer. Like he sang in barbershop quartets, wood carving and stuff like that. My dad was this weird blend of military discipline and drive with our art. And even though they were like an older generation, they were still pretty eccentric for the time. Like looking back on it now, I realize my parents were pretty freaking eccentric. Because even though my dad was a colonel and we lived next door to a general in Germany and all that, my dad let me have long hair. When I wanted red tinted glasses, they let me have it. They warned me about music. That'd be hard, but they're supportive. But on the other hand, they didn't necessarily understand art, like the creative thing, like just wanting to be in the studio all the time. So I lived in a house where I had, a lot of support, but not necessarily understanding. Like I couldn't really talk to them about stuff. But now I live in a house where everybody's creative. Like Tap here is always doing a million freaking things, and is played in the Tokyo Teens with me on keyboards, and Luna, my other kids, played guitar in that. My other child, Wizalfo, who will not be on camera, is a bit of a genius themselves. They do 3D design, and that stuff's amazing, and hopefully they're going to work on this 3D video for me. So I now live in a house where I'm surrounded by creative people that have so many ideas, and I get so much criticism and input on the stuff that I'm doing. But it's also kind of interesting because I get inspired, but you will get on these rants. Like when we went down to Atlanta to film, you talked. It was like an hour and a half drive back, and you talked nonstop all the way home.
What was I talking about?
I don't remember. There's just ideas, and sometimes you were talking about your tower game.
Oh,
Because Tap and Luzolfo are slowly developing a game, but it gets really deep into the concept of it. Then you'd branch out into this other stuff, and then sometimes it's over here, and then sometimes it's about music, and then it's these whole, like, you'll start describing something like in the game, right? And it won't be like, oh yeah, then you go down a tunnel and there's a bad guy there. It's like, no, you'll describe the feeling and what it means and these emotions. And even as you're talking about it, we could be recording that shit because you actually vote. If there are music in the background, you're like, and then they come around a corner, and it's like, I feel like I'm listening to some sort of like podcast type thing, and. And this actually swings back to the song Dreamer, which is the song y'all have heard me work on. That's actually about Tap right here, about how their mind works. And the reason the lyrics, and it's kind of funny because, Tap's young and there's times that they're going through very stressful things, like going from being a child to an adult, having a job, being in relationships, getting into the world. And sometimes it's goddamn stressful. I remember going through that. So I went to Tap and I said, hey, I'm working on these lyrics. It'd be cool if you just spit out a bunch of what's in your head right now, right? And then I can use that to kind of guide the lyrics. How it's kind of cool to be able to go to the person. I couldn't do this with everybody, but Tap just understands it. I could talk to them about, hey, I'm writing a song about you, and they'd be able to talk to me about it, but not be worried about it and not get all these weird. You can't do that with most people, right? So I said, okay, write me some stuff. So Tap gives me this stuff. So what I'm expecting is that it'd be things like thoughts on growing up and leaving your childhood behind and the pressures of society. And we live in a weird world now. The world's very different now than when I was a kid. When I was a kid, oh, you can be anything. And now kids are like, AI is going to kill everybody, right? So I'm thinking it's going to be all this stressful stuff. And we've talked about some of the stuff, like the job and having to deal with this and having to start a career. It's but instead...
I sent you 3 fucking paragraphs.
There are these 3 paragraphs, and they're there's these mountains in the sky and these rivers of endless beauty, and oh my god, it was like, what the hell? And I actually used a lot of that stuff because you kept talking about skyships. You
incorporated a lot of it into the lyrics.
Yes, I put a lot of it, and it's because you're a dreamer. So you dream, and you told me once, and this is an interesting thing. Because I was thinking about this the other day, how to explain to people what my life is like. And I thought yesterday, a similar thing you said is I have to spend a lot of time in my life living in my imagination.
It's not that I have to, it's just that I do.
Well, I have to. It's I technically have to, which I want to do, but I've figured out a way to make it my job. So it's like a requirement. I have to live in my imagination a bunch of the time. But you're there anyway, and you were talking about the worlds that you build.
Yeah.
In your head.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, this is some fascinating stuff. Come on.
I don't know. What do you mean?
Okay. Here's an interesting thing, because actually, this is going to be in a video about songwriting, okay? This is going to sound really weird. Sometimes I get ideas for songs while listening to other songs. Mm-hmm. But it's not like the idea I get sounds anything like that song. I'll get ideas for songs while I'm listening to another song that sound completely different.
Mm-hmm.
But yet somehow that song triggered it. And I would do this thing, I hadn't done this for a while, where I would put on headphones. I'd have a mic in front of me, and I'd put on headphones, and I'd just listen to music that I like. And if I came up with an idea, I'd tap here, and I'd just start singing this stuff. So I couldn't hear, later on, I'd forget what I was listening to, but I'd just I'd hear the beat, and I'd hear me tapping the beat, and then I would just sing these things, these la la la, or drum beat, or whatever. It's just a weird freaking thing. And then sometimes I get ideas for songs in a different way. It's quiet, or I dream songs. I've dreamt plenty of freaking songs, and I wake up and sing them into my phone. So sometimes the ideas come from nothing, right? But when you're getting your inspiration, is it like when you're just like laying in bed alone, or are you getting it while you're looking at other things that are completely different things?
I don't know. I mean, a mix of both, to be fair. Our minds are shaped by what they consume. You know, like whether your ideas come from what seems like nothing to some degree, that still is shaped by what you've witnessed, what you've experienced. That's always something that's shaping who we are as people and our imagination and our ideas. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, I play a lot of video games. I see a lot of movies, a lot of shows. Uh, there's a lot of artists that I fucking love the work of, and so I see a lot of beautiful things in the world. Um, so like fuck, something I really like is world building. Ooh, good world building. Oh, I love just like that. Um, so I don't know. It's like I get my ideas from a big fucking cauldron in my head that's constantly churning and bubbling. All the ideas, all the colors and art and music and everything that I've ever witnessed and experienced in my life churns in that cauldron. And sometimes you get good potions out of it, sometimes not so good, but it's constantly churning. And I guess that's where I get. At the end of the day, I'm just an old witch in the woods churning my big ass cauldron, and that's really it.
Oh, by the way, for the hut, I know where we can get more stuff.
Where?
There's some vines. There's
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
on the
yeah.
property. Like I need to go cut that. Tap's actually building something in the woods.
I'm
and there-
building a hut. I'm building a witch hut in the woods. Genuinely.
There actually is a hut being built in the
Yeah.
woods, and we
Slowly.
need more materials to go down there. And it's a, what do you call it? Dobble and wad, wad and dob. What's it called?
Wattle and Daub.
Waddle and Daub. It's going to be a waddle and
we're-
Daub hut.
Wattle and Daub. It's a classic architectural style. Not even architecture necessarily, but like a building technique when it comes to a lot of common farmhouses in like what we now refer to as like the Middle Ages, like medieval era, sort of, where you get it's pretty basic. It's just kind of you get the wattle of Wattle and Daub refers to sticks that you weave in and out of each other to create essentially a lattice or like a basket sort of. It has the strength of a basket. It's similar fundamentals, but then the Daub is actually I might have explained this to you. Daub is a very specific. To some degree, Daub can be like just a term referred to whatever kind of mud or whatever you stick in. So you get the wattle. You weave sticks and branches and things and vines in and out of each other to create the base of a building. That is based around thicker, logs and posts that are more stable. And then daub is whatever kind of dirt and mud that you pack into it and let dry so that it's actually insulated. And anyway, but there are actually historical documents that record recipes for daub that include cow manure and urine and different things that make a good foundation for housing. Anyway, yeah, that was what we were going for the hut in the woods. We're figuring it out. We need to find a good recipe for daub, although we need to actually finish the wattle part.
Yeah,
of
the
build-up.
boy, I helped you cut a bunch of like these thin, like so the area they're in, it's all right to cut. It's like there's a lot of woods around here, and the shit just grows. So it's cutting these like I don't know what kind of plant that is. These long, skinny branches, and a ton of them, and it's like. It got most of one wall done. It's like, oh, we're going to need a lot more. And then I've been out working on the property here, and I found a bunch of vines, so we can pull that down and drag. It'll be a way to drag it out into the woods. But this is kind of the life I live in. I live around people that are doing things like that and building worlds on their computers with 3D design and then Luna's not quite at the depth of you guys artistically, but yet has a very deep understanding of stuff. Like
she has a deep understanding of it. Like in a fundamental sense, sort of in a a slightly more calculated sense. I feel like the study itself of art, of vision, and of cinematography and things. I think she is more I don't know, aware of the why more so than the what. I think a lot of the rest of us are more so just the vibe of art and film and you know, things like that. But yeah, Luna's a lot more like as to the specifics. I feel like I don't. That's me. That's what I get.
So when is the public going to start seeing some of your work?
I don't know.
I'm putting you on the spot here.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
I don't
come on. Tap's an amazing artist, and I'm trying to get Tap to make some stuff for me. It's been a bit of a struggle because and I get it. Like when you're an artist, you just want to do it for the art, and there is kind of a mind fuck in a way about you do art because you want it and you enjoy doing it, but then when you got to start doing it for a living or the idea of commission is kind of like, although I'm trying to explain to Tap, I don't see it as commission. I see it as a partnership because I need to make some. I could sell stuff if I had a merch, but I suck. I'm a terrible artist. I can't make stuff on my own, and I could hire people, but I really want their artwork because I love the kind of work they do. But it's kind of like, it is kind of like how you think about it is. With art, I think how you think about it is as important as the work that you do. And, you know, like a lot of people get into music because they want to make music. And then like, well, I got to make money. And then you get sucked into the music business. Then it's all about like, oh, I got to work with this person because they're famous, or I got to make a track like that. And at a certain point with me, like, kind of got into some of that stuff. But there was a lot of stuff I walked away from. There were people that were really surprised by the stuff I walked away from because, oh, there's money and opportunity. And I'm like, hey, man, every opportunity shouldn't be taken. Just because something's an opportunity doesn't mean it's a good opportunity or the right opportunity. There's always opportunities in front of you, whether you realize it or not. Got to be careful about the ones that you take. Like if you ain't got anything going on, maybe just take some to see what happens. But if you know what you want, got to be careful about how you take them, but also how you think about them. Sometimes you got to think about them like this is temporary. And you got to realize as an artist, there's sometimes things that you have to do to move your career forward if you want to make money from it. But you got to realize it's temporary and not to let it get you sucked into it. I think that's where we're at right now, or you're at.
Huh?
Oh, were you listening to me?
No.
Oh God, this is how conversations normally go with this. I talk, and they're like, "Oh, are you talking to me?" So, yeah, yes. So Spasmatic says these ideas are also shaped by our environments we developed in, and you can see this in how he sees beauty in things, but knows not all that emanates is beautiful. We raised our kids, we homeschooled for most of the time, and they were raised in a way, for better or worse.
They actually would leave us in the woods for days on end, and we would have to survive by ourselves. So we would survive off of raw squirrel meat and deer droppings. That's how you know. I mean, that's how it went.
No, but there was, and I've told this story a million times, but when you and Wizalfa were like 10 and 12 or something like that?
Oh, yeah. It was, no, I think we were younger. I was like 9 maybe, or maybe 10.
Y'all were really young. And it's actually way back in the woods where we filmed some of this video. And it was actually kind of like October type weather, kind of getting cold. And I was down here in the working in the studio, and Kit had said, oh, the Wizalfo and Tap went out hiking in the woods, you know. I come upstairs like, it's late and it's dark. I'm like, where are the kids? And Kit's like, oh, they're probably still in the woods. I'm like, maybe we should go check on them. And I vaguely knew where they were. There's like a little kind of cave thing down there in the woods. So I go down there and I hike way back in the woods, and there's a fire. So you and Wizalfo are in your pajamas way back in the woods where you have to go. Yeah, it's not easy to get to. You got to go down, and there's this dam, and then you go across a creek, and you go through these woods, and you have to climb up this hill.
It's like maybe a mile.
It's a lot for a little kid. It's a lot for some grown-ups I know too. And I go back there. Y'all are in your pajamas. You have a campfire going. You have stuffed animals. You've got crackers and cheese that you're heating up on the fire, and y'all are just cool. I'm like, oh, y'all look like you're doing good.
I think we were reading comic books.
You probably had comic books with you at this campfire, and I think y'all hauled it out in a cooler, and y'all had been there for hours. And I was like, okay, well, I guess y'all are right. I'm heading back, and I'm starting to leave, and I turn around and it's like, y'all have flashlights to get back home? And y'all looked at me in disgust, and were like, we don't need flashlights. I'm like, okay, all right. But, you know, we raise them with a lot of freedom. Also, because they're homeschooled, a lot of not scheduled stuff. Things were like they were free to choose what they wanted to do. And you would think that'd be a bad thing, but when you open up somebody's mind and give them the freedom to like explore things, you'd be surprised how much stuff people will go and find out about in the conversations you have. The same shit you're going to get taught in school, but you'll do it voluntarily because you're interested in it, as opposed to having somebody shove it down your throat. My kids are all really, really freaking smart, but I did think it led to. Y'all are really smart. Y'all are smarter than I am. God knows.
Easy. That's a low bar.
Yeah, well, thanks. I remember one time, okay, I got to tell this one too. I used to make this joke about having kids, and I'd say, my kids are eating my dreams. And one time I said that, and there were a bunch of people around. I said, my kids are eating my dreams. And you said, well, they're not very tasty. And I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't even get mad about that one. But yeah, we raised them that way. So I'm surrounded by it, and it's good. I get a lot of hell about, my thumbnails look like shit. The lighting could be better, how things could be edited. But I actually like that. I like being challenged on things. I don't like it when people are too respectful. Like, that's the thing about having a reputation, and I work with younger artists. They come in and they're being all respectful, and it's like, I need you to be freaking honest with me. But it's hard for them because they've heard about me for years, and they're trying to, it's like, no, you can actually say things. I want people, thank God my kids don't respect me. So I get the truth, but I like being challenged, and it's not always, easy to hear, but it forces me to be better. And I think that's kind of swinging back to what I'm doing right now with my, with me, with the YouTube channel, putting out music. I got to figure out how to do this, how to put out the music, how to do the videos, also how to balance that against my YouTube channels and all that. It's a really big thing for me because it's very mental, and I take it very seriously. Like, music for me is a very serious thing. It's not just like, oh, I make music for a living. It's like, it's my dream. I want to do really good music, So it's not an easy thing. Let's see. Oh, I hadn't even been looking at the chat. I don't know if there are any questions here or anything like that. There's other conversations going. Wait, quadratic formula bad, subharmonic addition. What the hell are y'all talking about here? Yes, I'll say. So Blora is saying Tap needs a deviant art site. I want Tap.
I've been thinking about setting up a DeviantArt site.
Oh wait.
Although to be
fair,
what
is that?
It's just a common website people post art.
That's like a place like Pinterest, but for art. Is Deviant
kinda? I was thinking about it, but. And I still might. It's just like DeviantArt since what was it? It was because it went public back in like 2021, I think. Where because like a lot of I should have made a DeviantArt account back in like 8 years ago, before like it got a bunch of what's the term? I don't know. I'm not really a fan of the company. They've made some odd decisions in the last couple of years, which is, it's still like a decent place to post art, to be fair. But it's odd. It's slowly resembling ArtStation more and more, which, like, okay, that's ArtStation has its place, to be fair. But ArtStation is a lot more like it's the big leagues, it's professional artists that are getting gigs on, I don't know, Star Wars concept art or something, which is cool. Like that, that's a big part of the art industry, to be fair. But I don't know. I like just posting silly stuff. But yeah, which, to be fair, I guess I could do that on DeviantArt. I might make an account. I don't know.
I want to see the rat thing. The rat. You've got all these rats. To me, it looks like a poster, and it's got all these rats, and they've all got different personalities. Your idea was that it would be something for your Twitch channel.
Yeah, I was.
I wish you would have kept streaming, because sometimes
I plan to. I just need to get around to it.
Tap was streaming for a while. We could actually watch Tap working on art. Now, one of my favorite things in the world to do is watch Tap draw, because you've got the pad, and it's very interesting watching their technique, because they'll draw and then they'll erase and they'll draw and but there's a fluidity to the way that you draw that I just freaking enjoy doing, and I wish you would stream more doing that. But basically, I'm trying to encourage you to encourage Tap to put their artwork out because I think it's really, really good. And I'm very proud of it. And it's not just being a dad. It's really, really good work, very creative. And there's what I think is interesting is that there's like a purpose and a meaning behind almost everything. I mean, sometimes you're just doodling, but usually it's like there's a purpose and meaning behind what you're illustrating. There are some people who do art and music, you know, like, and they're just kind of doing it because they think it's cool, but there's not necessarily a meaning behind, which always seemed weird to me. Like,
I mean, that's fine though, you know.
I mean, it's fine.
The
but
act of art itself is sometimes more valuable. Well, not even sometimes, almost always more valuable than the product of finishing art. I mean, it's just to do art is the art form. It's not it's not the fact that you've made something. It's the fact that you made something, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, did I just repeat what I...
Wait, did you say that right?
I might have phrased... Anyway, point is... And to be fair, that's just my opinion. You know, everyone... Art is art. It's almost indefinable. Now, we know to some degree why it, like, you know, affects people mentally, like, you know, on a scientific level, why certain things have certain effects on us as people. So, like, there is a study to it, but at the same time, art is so open-ended. It's so, you know, you can interpret it in any such way. And oh fuck, how did I get on this topic? I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's important to make art is valuable. Something actually always weirds me out. Not weirds me out in like a bad way. I find odd is when people draw something and then say like, well, I'm no artist, but something, or they might say like, well, I'm not much of an artist, but I don't know. If you create, doesn't matter what it is. If you make something, if you take a piece of the world and you combine that with a piece of yourself, you are an artist. That's just how it is. That's, you know. So I always find it odd. I'm yapping, by the way.
Hold on. Keep talking. I got to write that down.
Oh, my God. What did I say? I don't even know. I'm
Take
just yapping, man.
a piece of this world.
Yeah, you
world and combine it with yourself. And combine it.
See this guy? Look at this guy. Unbelievable.
Yourself.
I can't get a single thought out without this guy writing down something for lyrics or something. It's unbelievable.
It's like, well, hold on. That's an idea. Like, well, when sometimes we're driving and I can't stop, and I'm like, you know.
So you get me to text. You're like, text me that. That's great for I'm like, man, I'm trying. Ugh.
Oh my God. Well, anyway, art is the process. Yeah, Smokespun says art is the process, not the product. And oh, hey, Chris is there. It's Soulful Playground. Hey, Chris, I hope you're feeling better. We got to get back to working on that song at some point. Painting a lot, like different songs. Some have clear features, some have original style, and sound different to people. What are you laughing about?
I'm looking at the playback up there. I didn't realize how goofy my hand gestures were. I saw myself going like...
Now, your hand gestures are amazing. It's one of my favorite things about you. You're so fluid. Everything's smooth with you. Everything's like really nice and smooth, and you flow, and it's like I'm just surrounded by art and beauty around this place all the dang time, you know? I mean, I think about when I'm working on music, I see music a lot, and I think of it kind of like painting a picture. So I think some people are looking like, it's just weird, like working on music for money, right? Like there's an interesting intersection there, and it doesn't bother me so much. I've gotten used to it, and it's fine. And I know sometimes I'm working on something, it's like, I don't care. Actually, my YouTube, interesting thing with the YouTube videos, every video I've watched and everybody I know who's done well on YouTube has told me, just sit there and talk to the camera for 8 minutes and don't do much fancy editing and all that. But all my biggest videos are the things I did, everything everybody said not to do. All my biggest videos were videos I did that at a certain point through the videos, like, I don't give a shit whether anybody even looks at these things. I know what I want. I just want to make what I want to make, and I'm going to do that. And then those end up being my best videos that get the most views and all that, and people like the most. And to me, but at the same time, I can't, I have to at some point finish the freaking video. But I feel like there is a balance between making what you love and what's really important and dear to you, but at the same time, there's some amount of making sure it's something that people can relate to, I guess, like with my videos or like with my songs. I'm not going to make a 20-minute long song. I try to keep them to some freaking length, and thank God now it's acceptable to have a 5-minute long songs, which is kind of funny because a 5-minute long song is actually not that long. If you think about it, you watch a movie and it goes for a long time. In the song, you spend all this damn time on it.
Are you saying that in the sense that 5 minutes used to be considered like a long song?
Yeah.
I guess. But
Oh my God! When I was younger, pop songs were
like
not 3 minutes was considered long.
Well, yeah, but
3:10, 3:15 was like the
even
number
so,
for many years.
And I mean, okay, maybe it's partially because of that. Think about something like Roundabout. That's like fucking 10 minutes. Which is, to be fair, partially why it's so
different. See, so you got to understand though. You're looking at Roundabout and some of that music. So FM radio started as a underground kind of pirate type thing. Popular music was on AM radio. FM came out, and that was like, oh, we're going to play longer songs and stuff like that. And then that ended up becoming popular. But it was actually only a short amount of time, if you really think about it. And then everybody got back to the short songs. And if you think about like Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, there are rare circumstances like that. And sometimes, like some of those bands, they were just in a situation that they were able to get by with that. Queen was in a position where they could have kind of forced them. You have to put this freaking song out. But most people, I mean, things are different now because you don't have a record label saying, hey, you got to do this thing. People can just put music out and then people can like it, which to me, I think is freaking amazing. So, but on the other hand, like I used to work with these jam bands and they would have like these 20-minute long, 20-minute long songs. Now, every time I work with a client, an artist, I'm like, okay, like what are the goals here? What are we trying to do? And like, are you trying to have a radio single? Are you trying to do, oh, no, we don't care. It's just about the art, right? I can't tell you how many times I finished the album and then they look at me and they go, what song do you think is the single? I'm like, what do you mean single? And they're like, something to put out. I'm like, I thought we were just doing this for the art. No, well, yeah, but we want to, it's like, I don't know how to take this song here and make it into a 3 or 4 minute long, even a 4-minute long song. Had we known that, had you wanted a single, I would have made sure that we arranged at least one song that way. So, but once again, it kind of comes back like with art, you have to be honest with yourself. It's like, okay, let's just be real. Yeah, art can be important and you want to be creative and you want to do your thing. But on the other hand, if you want to make money from it and not have a regular job, you have to face the reality of like there's going to have to be certain things that you do. So maybe you do some work that's more for the money, more for the art, and you balance all that stuff out. I think that's a really hard freaking thing to do,
Yep.
All right, I'm lecturing here.
Also, I meant to say, alternatively, Smoke Spun. Everything matters until it is decided it does not. I mean, same thing to some degree. I think it is more valuable, at least me personally. I like to see that. Like it kind of is a moot point, But I think I like to flip that concept on its head. It's just everything matters. The only things that do not are that which we deem as unimportant, which is valuable to view certain things in the world as that, but there is always value in things. I think that's a fundamental. Well, no, there's no fundamental anything, kind of, but like they're kind of. I don't know. I think, because I mean, obviously the universe is neutral. It is not lovely. It is not kind, but it is not angry, and it is not sad. So I simply choose it I choose to view it as lovely, because it certainly can be. I don't know. You're not wrong saying that nothing really matters anyway the wind blows, or more so, you said everything is meaningless until we give it meaning. To some degree, yeah. But I don't know. I think more so, there is meaning in all things if you wish to see it, and vice on the opposite side of that, there is also the lack of meaning if we choose to not see. Anyway, whatever, I'm yapping.
Well,
Random philosophical word mush, something.
It's funny you say, because I was literally just thinking about this yesterday, because one of the bands that was in here that I wasn't able to live stream, their goal was to they're a very young band, they hadn't been doing it long, and the goal was to just get in here and just do a bunch of songs live, maybe a couple punch-ins, just to they've never really been like really in a studio. And they've only been together a couple years. But yet there were still some mistakes.
The people that were here the other day?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you hear any of their music?
Well, the drums.
Well, you could hear the drums for sure, yeah, because they're in the living room. But there's a couple times like, well, why don't you fix that? And there are these discussions like, should we fix it? Just fix it, you know? It's like we're not going to go through and fix every little thing, but some major mistakes. But somebody said something like, and this is something that I hear from people, they say, well, that doesn't really matter. Like, you know, maybe you're working on a song and there's some little mistake or something's not quite, and people say, oh, it doesn't matter. And I've found myself saying that, but the thing is, it usually I think it does matter, because saying that nothing matters, I say, well, nothing matters until it does. Nothing matters until it does. It's like with mixing, like
and bugs,
huh? Oh, don't confuse me here. You're gonna get me off track here. So. And, you know, people ask me questions about mixing and production. I have a really hard time answering it, because there's not, like, this formula, like, oh, you cross this threshold here. I mean, there's a threshold you cross, but it's not always the same. I guess maybe I've been doing it a long time, but certain things do matter. They matter when they matter. So, like, you could say that.
Very deep.
I don't.
Sorry,
man,
go
I
on,
don't even
go
know
on.
how to say it. It's just like.
No, I
hear people say, oh, that doesn't matter. I'm like, yeah, but the thing is, the public doesn't always know. They're not able to go, like, looking at a video or listening to music, go, oh, the background vocals are out of tune, or like something's offbeat. They may not know that, but they know something's not right. They can feel that something's not right. It's like with editing movies and editing video. Cutting a frame earlier or later can change the vibe of every fucking thing. And those kind of details, in my opinion, do matter. To me, a lot of things matter when I'm working on my shit, like my stuff. Like in some of my videos that I've made, I'm showing gear, right? Like especially my studio tour freaking video. And I was going around to every piece of gear and clicking the buttons. And I realized, like, you can't hear me click the buttons. So I went through and spent hours, this freaking hour-and-a-half long video, and I've done this other video where I recorded me click. It's like, you gotta hear the button when it clicks. I'm gonna pull out my Joseph Sins. I'm gonna get a good audio on a nice click sound. Is that the right click sound? Oh, I didn't click it fast enough. But it does matter. It does matter to me, and it may not matter to somebody else, but it does to me, because I want to make this thing. But on a more practical level, low end matters, like this instrument being there's a reason why you're on your plugins and your knobs, you can move your knob out and it'll say 1/10 of a dB, and people, you can't hear that. It's like, yeah, you can't, but if you do that kind of movement on enough different things, 1 or 2/10 of a dB, it does add up to something that you either hear, that you feel, or that affects something else. There's a reason why they allow you to do that.
Just for funsies.
It all matters. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Hold on. Okay. So Guitar Builder saying, what you said about art not being fun anymore once you have to use it to make a living resonates a lot with me. I used to do glass and had so much fun with it until I worked in a production shop. And I get what you're saying. And I like to talk to people about this, because in certain genres of music, if you start discussing money or business, everybody gets weird, and you don't do it in the studio and you don't do it mixed in with music. what changed my whole attitude about that was, dude, I'm live streaming. You damn well know I'm live streaming. Why are you calling me?
Bro, put me on the speaker if I'm on live stream, man. Fuck it, they need to hear this shit.
What?
Dude,
It's Sleepyhead.
that new music video is fucking fire, bro.
Which one? Did you see both of
The
them?
song, Aura, the
Yeah.
new one.
Oh, thanks.
Fucking, the track, the video, the whole vibe. I mean, I remember watching, and we all remember watching you work on that song. Dude.
Well,
badass.
thanks. Cool.
I love it.
Now get off the fucking phone. I had a good, cool thing I was going to say. You just interrupted me.
W's in the chat for Billy Hume to go, baby. Love you. Peace.
All right, bye. I got to get him back up here working on something. But going back to the thing about making money, and it never really upset me that much. It was just shit I'd forget about. Like, I would have clients come in the studio back in the day, and they'd be packing up to leave, and then they'd be going like, oh, aren't we supposed to pay you? And I'd be like, oh, yeah. I'd forget, I'd forget I should ask them for freaking money and stuff. What changed my attitude about that was working on rap music. And it was interesting because those guys a lot of those guys don't look at what they're doing in rap music as art. They look at it more like a sport, like they're a free agent on a baseball team or something like that. They literally have that attitude about it. And there'd be times that I'd like have somebody in the studio and say, hey, can I put a guitar bass part on there? And they're like, oh, you play? I'm like, yeah. Oh, I thought these guitars were for decoration. No, I actually play. So I'd put something down, and more than once I had somebody look at me and go, oh, it's like art. I'm like, yeah. And that kind of bothered me. But then after a while, I realized, oh, you can just make a song just so it'll be catchy. It's all right to just make a song to just be catchy and just to make money so you can go get a freaking record deal so you can get the fuck out of the goddamn hood. And you got to realize, like, it's really easy for a guy like me who definitely had a privileged life. My parents weren't rich, but, when people say privilege, I'm not, it's like, no, I was privileged. I had parents who cared, and they were able to buy me a drum kit. Not a fancy one, but a cheap one. But at least they could buy me a drum kit. They could buy me a not a Gibson guitar, but a cheap knockoff. But that is a privilege. And the fact that they let me record in the basement and have bands and all that. And, even though they weren't rich, we weren't poor either. It's easy for a guy like me to go like, art is just to make for my art. And it's terrible to talk about it with music. Like, but when you hang out with some people that are poor, like, I mean, really freaking poor, where they've never been on a vacation in their life, and their parents worked all the time, and just and
I feel like a vacation's like nowadays. Even a vacation is like. I mean, to be fair, I don't know. I still know people that go on vacations, but like, maybe it's just me. I don't know. Vacations seem odd. That's expensive
well, yeah.
as hell.
I mean, that's a whole other.
Anyway, yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make is that working with these rap guys, I was like, man, they don't have the luxury of like, I'm just doing it for like it's either this or it's gonna be I get some shitty job somewhere, like in a freaking wherever, like they can get a job in the hood or in Atlanta because most of these guys didn't have cars. Maybe if they can't do sports, I met a couple of those guys that could have done either. Maybe go into some like dealing drugs or fucking whatever. God bless them. They're just trying to get ahead. But the thing I found out that was really interesting is like when you quit taking it so seriously, you can actually do something very creative. There were times working on rap songs. Like, I'm not necessarily a rap fan, but I got into it because I thought it was interesting and I liked the people. Plus, I wanted to, have a lot of low end. I got tired of people saying you have too much low end. And these guys are like, no, as much low end as you want. I'm like, hell yeah. But when you kind of like, don't worry about the artistic integrity so much and you just kind of do it for fun. It's amazing how you can actually do really creative things. The other thing that was interesting about working on rap music is that they would openly discuss business during sessions. The first few times it happened, it was kind of like, oh, this is kind of weird. But there'd be these things where like somebody'd say, oh, well, I really need this amount of money to get on the song or to get on do the hook, or I want, like, they'd even discuss percentages, like, you like what percentage, and there'd be like these debates and just, not arguments, but kind of like negotiating what happened right in the studio. And then, but once they were done talking about it, they're just done. And then be like, cool, back to music. And it was interesting how they could balance that and just put that over there and over there. And I was like, it was really eye opening to me. It's like, oh, we can just do that. And yes, if let's say I understand who was it that was saying this about, it was Guitar Builder. If you're wanting to do music for art, but then you just end up working like at a television station, mixing just bullshit things. I could get that. Like, I really want to record bands and creative art, but I'm here like editing, I don't know, the weather report or something like that. I kind of get that. But you can also, for me, it never bothered me as much after a certain point that I realized, like, okay, I can still do what I want. I'm doing this for money. It may not be what I would do if I was just like, oh, I just want to make a song for my art. It's like, this person wants a song and they want it to sound like Boys to Men or freaking some boys group. And I'd get these things like, oh God. But then I thought, can I pull it off? Can I do it? It's like, if I can separate myself from like, oh, I'm being a whore, this is going against my artistic integrity. It's like, oh yeah, there's another way of looking at it. And this is what I got from the rappers. It's like, am I a bad enough motherfucker that I can still pull that shit off? Can I do it convincingly? Can I go do this other project over here, this project over here, just to see if I'm good enough? And then I would do it, and it wasn't necessarily something that I would have thought of doing, but just to see if I could do it, but also finding something within that I could love. Like, can I make the drums sound a certain way? Or can I figure out how to make these vocals? Or like working on R&B stuff, because I'm not a huge R&B fan. But the way they do their vocals, and like, can I make it sound better than those guys who really love it? Can I do something they've not done and take it to another level? And then to me, that was a challenge. And then because I got good at that, then everybody's throwing money at me for shit. I don't really do that stuff so much anymore, but I did a lot of work doing that kind of stuff. But I didn't want to paint houses anymore, because I'd been painting houses and hanging wallpaper and building decks and shit like that. It's like, well, how do I quit doing that? Because I'm tired. I worked at a freaking Captain D's. I did all these stupid fucking jobs. Like, I just want to like work on music,
Yeah.
What were we gonna say?
Huh? I was looking at chat though. But also, you were saying how partially why you were able to view art as such almost like a, I don't even know the right word exactly, but you're saying how you used to view it almost as something that it needs to stay artistic, unfiltered, like it needs to be art for the sake of art. And you're saying that partially you were able to view it that way was because you had a privileged upbringing to some degree. And that's different for different people. Like, it's like everyone is raised in different ways and is able to explore art and just the world for that matter through different lenses based on what they're even just able to do and experience. And that sort of brings it back to like you were talking about how you raised us, like me and my siblings. It's not like we were super wealthy or anything. I mean, certainly not. But but you did, like, hell, I mean, to some degree, to our, like, the detriment of us, you went out of your way to give us interesting experiences and, get us fucking crayons and paper and shit. And, like, give us the opportunity to explore art. It's not that we just were raised and just happened to be creative just because fucking, I don't know, the world's beautiful and we're creative and artists. No, you helped nurture us and help us grow into, being who we are. So that's a part of it. So, it's obviously, I mean, anyone can do art. But yeah, earlier we were talking about, like, how you raise us and stuff. That's a part of it. That's a big part of it is that there was privilege to that because you and Mama both took a lot of effort and care into making sure that we grew up in an environment that, where we could grow and dream, I
Have the
guess.
space and the time to let your mind wander,
Yeah.
basically.
Which, that's not easy, I mean, fuck that.
Actually, really hard to do, actually.
So that there also, like, yeah, to be fair, there's privilege in that. So, it's not like,
And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. There's an artist I follow on Instagram, and I've often thought, like, she must come from a wealthy family, and I actually love her art. She's definitely in a position where she can just, like, be this artist and do that. Ain't anything wrong with that. That's great. But on the other hand, sometimes people like that look at people who are doing art more for, like, money or pop music, like they just want to be famous and all that. You could put it down, but on the other hand, it's like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. To me, it's more about being honest with what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it. Like people who did want to do it for art, but then they got caught up in the rat race of being popular in the music business and getting a record deal or getting on the radio and not being honest about it. Like, hey, well, why don't you just do that? Or, you know what I'm saying? Or just like, or just being, or, I don't even know how to say it. Like, I feel like honesty in art is one of the most important things because I do think the public sniffs
that's
out
a good
a
way
fake.
to put it.
Honesty in art is really important.
Well, I wouldn't even say a fake necessarily. I think it's just like,
Well, I'll tell you who's not fake is the Yin Yang Twins.
not fake.
No, those
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
are
no.
they really are what you see. But then I'd have these
Are you saying more so along the lines of something like artists that might use like auto-tune or something, or like,
I mean, I don't like auto-tune, but for
That's
certain
like a
types of
preference
music,
thing.
it makes sense. It's like, oh, that's the kind of music.
Mhm.
But I mean, I don't do that kind of stuff. But it's like, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. I don't, it's like, whatever, I mean, I actually did it on a song that I mixed for Polo de Dawn. And not even a big auto-tune guy, but there was something about the setting, and he spent years calling me up, insisting that I'd never. He got mad at me about it. It's one of the reasons I think he quit working with me, because he was sure that I had kept some secret from him about how it's like, no, I just put this in. It just worked out that way. But the point being, I don't really have a problem with anybody doing whatever kind of art that they're doing, as long as they're honest about what they're doing and also honest with the public about what they're doing. Like, this is what I'm doing. Like, if you're doing any AI shit, you fucking I'm not an AI fan at all, but if that's what you're gonna do, let motherfuckers know. Don't put it off like it's something else. That's all I'm saying.
there is, like, yeah, I think you put it well that at the end of the day, honesty in art is really valuable. It's just anyone can do art. Art is just, like I was saying earlier, it's the act of creating things, and it's like, on the one hand, and like something I see a lot that always makes me, that I don't know, it confuses me, is online in there's a lot of like parts of like art communities and things that, like, I see two directions that art communities go online. Either it's the most like wholesome and lovely individuals ever that are supportive and helpful and creative and just lovely people, or it's like people saying that your proportions are all wrong, and you and that there's like a right thing to do. I see a lot of YouTube videos like that. They're like, well, I fixed this art. It's like, what the... Anyway, that's a whole thing. But anyway, on the one hand, there is value in replicating the world more realistically with art. Proportions and facial structure and realism, there's value in that. There's a whole... That's a big piece of what makes art special, is seeing pieces of the world replicated through art, seeing it mirrored in interesting and fantastical ways, or very mundane but beautiful ways in art. That's one of the beauties of it, is you can take a piece. It's like a photo. You take a piece of what exists, and you illustrate it. Or with music. Sorry, I'm more of a visual artist, I suppose, but with music. There's, you can replicate the world, and to some degree, there's a bit of simplicity in that, because all you really need to do is replicate, sort of. But even then, there's no way to escape the fact that you're adding your own artistic vision into whatever you create. That is a permanent curse upon artists that themselves will always be a part of their art, no matter what. Unless it's like AI art, I guess. That's not really. Yeah, there's not really much of an artist in that. Now, to be fair, whatever. If you use AI art, go for it, I guess. But like this guy here was saying, yeah, genuinely, like, on the one hand, yeah, AI art is fucking terrible for the environment because of AI data centers and a lot of fucking reasons. And fundamentally, I just do not like it as an artist. But if you use it, fucking, I don't know. Whatever,
I was actually
go for it.
told to not even talk about AI or say AI around some of my kids. It's very upsetting to them.
Huh?
I'm not supposed to even talk about AI around Wizolfo.
Oh, yeah, he hates that shit.
I made the mistake of saying something about AI a couple weeks.
Man, the fact you...
and they got mad, and I wouldn't even talk. I just was talking about some hacking shit, and they got mad at me. I think they're still
hacking
mad at me
shit.
about it.
What?
That's another thing. I made him. I wasn't supposed to talk about it. Anyway, go on with your.
Anyway, yeah. Like I was saying, it's like if there's anyone here that uses like AI image generators, like fuck it, whatever, you know. But if it's the kind of shit that you go around like posting, yeah, it's like let people know. There's fundamental issues with it, with how it works, with how it learns, as a, you know, as a technology, as software. But you know, fucking, it's to the point where a lot of people use it, and it's like whatever, that's fine. What's not fine is the fact that yeah, there's a lot of artists that just post it claiming that they made it, whatever. That's a whole thing. But anyway, what was I saying? Fuck. Oh yeah, whatever. It's yeah, there is a beauty in making art for the sake of it. That is it's a lovely and beautiful thing. But there is, I think it is important not only to be honest with the fact that, you know, it is in the eye of the beholder. There are fundamentals. There are things that can be defined as better or worse, kind of, sort of, when it comes to proportion and color. And with music, like, there are more proper ways to mix audio and record things and whatnot. But still, at the end of the day, it's in the eye of the beholder, you know? It's art, no matter its form. There's a lot of value in being able to appreciate the beauty in any art. Hell, even if you don't personally like it, if you can tell that the person who made it cares, and that there are other people out there that care, and enjoy such a thing, there's beauty in that, you know?
It was different for everybody, and
it's different for everyone.
The thing that made me really realize that was something that Collie Park said to me one time. Collie Park, who's been in a bunch of my videos, he produced all the Yin Yang Twin stuff, and now he's working with that guy Mike Clark Jr. and all that. But I've known him since 2000 and mixed a bunch of, you know, the Yin Yang Twin stuff with him, and we would sometimes work on tracks together. Now, I got into music, a lot of reason.
I will say, I do gotta go get some food. I'm hungry as hell.
Well, we're not going to stream for that much longer, and
Okay.
I want to watch the videos again. But I got into music from listening like to Pink Floyd, like Dark Side of the Moon, and those things that they affected me, and this emotional thing, and also Todd Rundgren, and why I wanted to get into music. And you know, that's what my thing was about. And there was this one time I was hanging out with Collie Park. We were going to work on some rap tracks, like I would co-produce with him sometimes and other people, and you sell them and you make some money, right? And it would be fun. And so we're like getting warmed up, and we're just listening to music and, you know, taking some shots and getting in the mood. And Collie Park's like, oh, let's listen to some Two Live Crew. Let's get in the mood because I want to do something like that. I'm like, okay. So we're listening to Two Live Crew, which I really don't like Two Live Crew at all. I remember the first time I heard them, I was like, God, that stuff's nasty. And it's like, God dang. We're listening to the song, and Collie Park, I can't remember which one it is. The ones where they're all on the beach and shit, whatever. The girls, and they're in their bikinis and all that. And Collie Park looks at me and he goes, hey, man, if you want to understand why I got into music, this is it right here. I'm like, really? He said, this is it. And he had this whole story about being a kid and that his parents had told him to go to bed, but he would want to watch, they were like watching music videos. So he snuck to the top of the stairs and was looking down and could see the TV. And this 2 Live Crew song came on and it just really affected him. And it was like at that moment they realized, I want to do music. And I'm like, wow. So 2 Live Crew was like my Pink Floyd. But I can't disrespect that. I mean, it seems kind of funny to me, but it was like the thing that moved them. Like, I want to do music. I want to do something that makes you move like that and all that. And it's like, and they did. And it's like, there's, you can't disrespect that. That's the thing that really, really moved them. And it kind of made me realize, like, I know what I like and what I love. And it's made it easier for me to mix and produce other people's. Like, I may not personally like that kind of music, but I can respect what they're doing and understand what they're trying to accomplish, and I'll talk to them a lot about it, and I can work on that stuff. And I always find something I can love in almost anything. If I can't find something I can love in something, probably not going to work on it, but there's always something in there that I can either find to love or that I find is a challenge that allows me to do a good job on it. And but it's completely different. So when people argue about art and all that, I always think it's kind of funny. To me, it's almost like people arguing about analog or whatever. Like, oh, analog's the only. I'm like, there's certain things about analog I like. There's certain things about digital I like. Who freaking cares? It's like, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what comes out of the speakers. And there's stuff I've done that I did totally in the box with hardly any analog gear that I defy you to decide to know how much digital shit that was or analog. It's like, and I think it's the same with illustration art. At the end of the day, it's like, doesn't matter whether you redid something or how you did it, whether you did it on tablet, you painted it and scanned it or whatever. The only thing that matters is what do people see and how does it make them feel and how did it make you feel, and that's all that freaking matters. It doesn't matter how hard it is. How you took to get there. Oh, hey, Chronic Dream, thanks, appreciate it. I've not really been looking at the chat so much because, as usual, we actually came on here to release 2 videos and talk about the songs. We've been talking about other stuff, which is very typical when Tap and I get together. I did want to comment on something Sup Mello said over on Twitch. Sup Mello said, I made my first chart listing song from an album that I was working on in my parents' basement. Same here, because most of my big records I did in some sort of basement, either this one or the other one. So, I'm not really into big studios and stuff anyway. I mean, actually, I was talking to the Dusters. I went to see a String Dusters show the other day, and they're like wanting me to work on an album with them in November in Denver. And it's actually a professional studio, but it's a studio where they all know each other. So when you go, and we did the Rise Sun album there, the owner, and it's a guy actually happens to have a music rental company in the back. So when you go in there, he shows me the alarm code and how to lock up the gate and all that, and then just gives me a key to the studio, and they're gone. So we have this whole studio. It's like a professional studio, and if we need something, we just go in the back. Oh, we need a Rhodes piano. There's 4 Rhodes in the back, it's great. So we might be doing that. That's the only real pro studio I've ever really liked working at. Otherwise, I prefer to work in home studios. I do actually need to get to some work on some other stuff. Plus, it's me and Kit's anniversary, and I think she's going to be home from working before too long. So I think we're going to go out tonight to, celebrate our anniversary. But since we're here to kind of talk about the 2 videos that we just put out, and that Tap was really, Tap basically directed the first one, I guess we'll look at them again and watch them again, and encourage everybody to go over to my Billy Hume music channel and follow and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. So which one do we want to look at first? Do we want to look at Long Distance Runner first or Aura?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Could you same order you did earlier? I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go make a sandwich.
No, you got to sit here with me.
I'm gonna make a sandwich.
Sit
man.
here with me. One more time. We worked on this together. We're gonna watch this. I'll go up with you in a minute. We'll do these 2 videos and then we'll be done with the stream. I promise. Okay.
This guy's keeping me down. He's like, you can't see it, but I'm actually chained to this chair. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten in 3 days.
All right, here we go. So here is my new song, Aura. It's on my Billy Hume Music YouTube channel. Please go check it out. anything?
Yeah.
All right, no. You can't leave yet.
I'm just spinning.
Okay, so that is Aura, and that was basically directed by Tap right here and filmed mostly by them. And then this next song, and that's on Bandcamp now and on the new YouTube channel, and it will be up on the streaming platform soon. I'm just dealing with TuneCore on some stuff right now. This next one I've had for a while, and it's on Spotify, it's on everything, it's on the new YouTube channel. I put out this video a long time ago. This is a remake. Tap came in and helped me film some stuff on it because it's like I don't know how to film myself playing. I had bands for years and never made a music video because we didn't do shit like that back then because nobody could afford to do it, but we can now. So here's the next one. This one is called Long Distance Runner. God damn it.
Yeah. Thank you for yeah.
I'm used to having Harper and somebody helping me on this. Sorry. Let me start all over again. Yes. So
yeah. Come on. So basically,
can we get a professional engineer in here? Anyway, Jesus. Yes. Okay, both those videos are up on my other YouTube channel, my Billy Hume music channel. And Harry, can you put the link up there for that? Please go over there and subscribe to the channel and watch the videos. They're also both up on my Bandcamp page. And then that song that you just heard, that's actually on all the streaming platforms. The other one will be soon. There's just there's some stuff with TuneCore I'm dealing with. And yeah, that's Tap at many years ago dancing. Tap's an amazing dancer. So yeah. There was something interesting that said, who was it? Well, first off, Sup Mellow. Yeah, the guitar. So that song Aura, the first one I just played, like I said, I had to work off a 2-track. I was able to find some of the other files. I tried doubling on top of it, like playing the guitar part. It just was weird. So I never could, like, there was at a certain point, it's like, I never was really thinking about releasing that song. I just did it on a live stream for fun, and then I put it in that video, and everybody liked it. It's like, well, I guess I'll release it. And then I'm like trying to mix it, and I'm like, oh my God. So there's like a lot of issues with it. I couldn't do anything to 808. Most of the drums are mixed together. I added more stuff. So yeah, but at a certain point, it's like, hey, it is what it is. I'm putting it out. It's still cool. I tried to turn up the guitar because I was able to find the files and mostly align the phase, but if I got them too loud, it started doing weird other shit to the mix because there were some other sounds mixed in. Long technical story. I turned them up as much as I could, but that's as high as I could get the guitar without it fucking up the rest of the mix. And then I think it was like Chronic Dream said that on the first part of the Aura video, what did you say? It made you think of Bruce Springsteen's Philadelphia. Do you mean like the sound or the visuals? But I definitely, on the first part of the Aura video, I definitely took saturation. I turned down the saturation so it was like not so bright, darker, kind of grittier. And then when it goes into the other world where you get the Forrest Gump shot and you come down to the tree and all that, then everything's oversaturated. And I was definitely trying to separate them apart because it's a weird song. There's no chorus. There's no repeating. It's like the arrangement doesn't even make any sense. It's just something. It's like a journey, and it starts in this dark place because that song, the first part of it's just kind of about certain expectations that people have about me, and that they think I'm a certain thing, and that with me moving forward in my life, I've kind of had to in a way, leave certain things behind. And people, not that I hate them or anything. They a lot of people know me as a mixer and a producer, and certain people are starting to understand with the YouTube channel that I actually am something else. But it was kind of like when I went from working in rock into rap music. Everybody's like, what the hell is he doing? Then when I got out of rock and went into country music, like, what the hell is he doing? And I'm at that point again. And the first part of the song is like, I'm breaking free and I'm doing my own thing and fuck it. If you can't come along, then screw it. And then the other part's a completely different vibe. So in the video, I definitely was changing the saturation and the way it looked to kind of separate those things out from each other. But I'm glad you noticed that because I wanted to make sure.
The fourth or wait.
Where at?
Oh, where'd he go? Oh yeah, 6th comment. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3. 7th. From Wilmer.
Where is it?
The one right there.
Where?
Not the here.
Just read it to me. I can't. I have terrible.
How do you go down?
Different. That's on the PC. Use this.
Look at that one. Boom. What? No, stop. Question. Bam.
Oh, you wanted me to remind you of a question underneath your last video. My question was, is that James Guthrie? Wait, what now? It's so out of context. I'm not sure. Boy, if Enya came to my studio, I would totally trip out. That would be wild.
Anyway,
All right.
I will go make a sandwich.
Okay, you go
Farewell.
eat, and
Until our paths cross once more.
well,
What?
thanks for coming on the stream and talking and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's been nice having
It
our
was like a
conversation.
podcast.
I mean, that's what we do. God, I wish we filmed and recorded some of our conversations, or just I had a camera on, because sometimes you'll just go off on something. I'm like, God dang, that's really interesting. I've been trying to get them to stream more, and if like you talking about games too. Sometimes you get really deep into talking about games. It's like I was never into games, and you talk about it, I'm like, wow, that's really deep. So I appreciate you coming on the stream. Now go get your freaking sandwich. And the dishes need to be done too. Somebody's got to take the recycling out. Okay, that's Dad there. All right. There was something else I was going to show, and I forgot to show it, and it was
Wait,
what?
where'd Gigi go?
Oh, Gigi. She jumped on my lap at some point. I think she might have gone upstairs. One of the cats got down here. It's not supposed to be down here. We are waiting for the answer about the album be on CD or vinyl. I think I'm going to do vinyl. People are into that. I mean, I'll probably do both. I'm going to do as much as I can. So yeah. And what's the chorus on Long Distance? You're my runner. You're my runner. That's it. You're my runner. Because my mom was like a marathoner, so she was like my runner. Like my mom could just keep things going. It's kind of hard to explain. It's, you know, my mom and my dad. My mom had a good life and all that. My dad loved the hell out of her, but it wasn't easy. And because, you know, we moved a lot, and like all of us kids, we all did things that made it hard for my mom. Like, we all had different types of lives, and there were challenges. That's all I'm going to say. And my dad was a great dad, and he was a soldier and an artist, but he was not an easy person to live with either. And but she bared it, and I mean, it wasn't like he was beaten or he wasn't doing anything like that. But that was just difficult. But yeah, she kept going and always had a great attitude and all that. And that was a big part for me. And think about my mom every day. Oh, oh my God. Hold on, Wilmer. I'm gonna look it up right now. Okay, who is the guy? Okay, hold on. Okay, I've got some makeup work to do here. Hold on. Let me open up DaVinci. Yes, God, because when I say it, it's gonna be like, oh, of course. It's hold on. Let me find it. If I can find it in the timeline, it probably has the person's. I hope it has the person's name on it. Oh my God. Hold on. It's Oh, okay. Are you? Hold on. Let me go. Hold on. Let me go to main. Hold on. I got DaVinci open. And now I was going to show y'all something about the Hammer Doll. Oh, I just lost my spot. Hold on. It is, oh my God. Why is DaVinci acting weird now? God dang it. Hold on. Main. Oh, okay, it's over. Oh, you're talking about, okay, this. I can't zoom in, but I think it's Roger Nichols. Oh, here we go. Okay, is this who you're talking about from the video? Is that, because that's 310, and you said... Yes, so that's Roger Nichols. That's who you're. And I just couldn't remember the name. And then there's Tom Dowd right here. I wanted to talk about Tom Dowd, but it's kind of like just trying to squeeze so much in. And I was also looking for people who invented things. I thought Tom Dowd had invented stuff, and some people claim he invented the fader. This video took me so long to make because I want to be accurate about what I'm saying about things. And sometimes I think it's easy to just say something and it's not 100% right. And it turns out that Tom Dowd did not invent the fader. He made it popular. Another guy did, who I think in this video there's a quick picture of them. It's I think it's not that guy. Not that. Man, I don't know. I did so much damn research on this stuff, but yeah, this is Roger Nichols, which is interesting. Does not look like what you're like. He looked a lot different in older age. Hold on. How do I feel about the new verification thing on Spotify so they know it's AI or not? I think I think AI should be absolutely 100%. Like AI was used for this. Absolutely. Totally. Why not? Because I have strong feelings about that. And, if you want to use AI, fine. But I just don't think it's not fair. And, people say things like, well, life's not fair. It's like, well, yeah, I get it if you're talking about a lightning strike or something. But in society, since we control society, we could actually make it fucking fair. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. It's all right. I did want to say something about this last video. Hold on, let me go back to this here. Let me get out of this. And I got to say something about this because it was actually a big deal. So in these, hold on. In these shots where, let me scroll and find the spot. You'll see these shots of my hammer dulcimer, right? And y'all have seen me play this on my live streams. And the issue I had was, I had not changed the strings since I bought the thing in the 90s, which is not uncommon. Like, pianos will keep strings on for decades, right? But when you film it, you can't see them, but it was sounding terrible. I couldn't tune it anymore, and I actually needed to put it on the song Dreamer, which y'all have heard me work on, and you haven't heard it since I put the hammer dulcimer part on it. As like, I have to put new hammer dulcimer strings on here. Like, it's like, I just need it to sound the way it used to. So I actually went to the trouble, and hammer dulcimers, basically they use piano strings and piano wire. So I ordered some, and I actually did hold on, where did I put this damn thing? I did actually change out the strings on the hammer dulcimer. And let me tell you, it took me all day. And I was just going to show you this stop motion thing because it started out like this. Let me go here. Okay, it started out like this, right? Where it was like, I'm going to record a song. I set it up. Look at the strings. You can't tell that well from here. But hold on, let me go to enter full screen. But they were just old and tuning issues and just nasty, and there's crud on them. So I decided to order these strings, and here it is, me actually putting strings on this thing. I didn't actually count how many there was, and I thought I'd ordered enough string. The very bottom string I wasn't able to replace. I ran out of string, and there's actually 3 different gauges on here, and that in itself was an issue. Like, how do I measure string gauge? And I actually managed to find I found this. And now let me pause this real quick. I found this. This belonged to my dad. My dad did work with veneer, which is very thin wood. So there's this like ancient like thickness measuring thing. And it's really old, but damn thing's accurate as hell. Because I was measuring my guitar strings. It's like, it came up to, 11, whatever, like a medium gauge E string is. I tested them. This thing's totally accurate. So I cleaned off the old strings on the hammer dulcimer. And then I ordered them, and I had to get 3 different things, and I bought them in these big rolls, so you got to cut them. This took all day long, like literally. The other issue was that over the years, I would change the tuning sometimes for certain songs, and then I forgot where it was, so I pulled out this book and to set it back to the original tuning, and it was so different. So it was just, it was a nightmare. And I do have some issues with like some of the bridge type thing. Well, not the bridge, but like these things along the edge here, like the nut or whatever. Some of them are really old and they're pushed in. I think it's affecting the tuning. I might have to replace those too. But sounds a lot better now. It took like a couple weeks for it to settle in, to really be in tune. You got to constantly adjust it, but I finally got it up, and I recorded it on this song called Dreamer, and that'll be a song that'll be coming out at some point. We were talking about the music video for it, but now I got new strings, and they actually show up on film now, so you get a shine off of them. So I just wanted to show that. Let's see. Yeah, and Tap something else. Tap is just amazing. Like, so creative. so full of wonder. And I had a question I was going to ask them about, because they have a job now. They actually work at a restaurant. It's like, in their opinion, like, this is the worst job in the world. I'm like, hey, try digging post holes, right? But, I get it, But I love listening to Tap talk about stuff. They have it's interesting to raise kids, and they're kind of like you, but then they come up with, not today, Tap mentioned Roundabout by Yes. I'm like, I love Roundabout, but I don't know if I've actually ever played it in the house. Somehow they found out about it and got into Yes. Like, it's amazing the things that they find out about. And then they say things that I'm like, wow, that's really inspirational. It's actually very mind blowing, for somebody who's, I used to change their diaper and wipe their butt. Now they're telling me shit, Let's see. What? Okay, so Wilmer's saying, I have another question for you. Do you record vocals with a tad of compression or EQ? Oh, wait, was it just the microphone, the preamp, and compression? Oh, no, I hit a compressor going in, absolutely. I hit a distressor, and I've got it at like 6-1. I'll hit it pretty hard sometimes, too, because I'm going to do it anyway. I like committing to things. As far as the EQ, not so much, because I'm using these Neumann mics, and they kind of already sound pretty good. They already got that high end. On other instruments, I will. Like, I might do a little something with EQ, but yeah, definitely, I might even hit it with a little bit of a de-esser. But no, I definitely compress going in. It's easier. I'm gonna do it anyway, and then when I'm mixing, I'm compressing that shit again. And you hear people talk about compression, like, it's sucking the life out of it. It's like, no, it ain't. Like, but your release is too goddamn slow. Speed your goddamn release up, and you ain't gonna kill anything. But vocals are so dynamic that usually by the time I'm doing a mix, and this is for my music, not all music. But for my music, which is dense, I need the vocal to sit in the mix. And it's like pop music and rock. The mixers will do this. There's going to be a chain of like 3 compressors on the vocal, different types of compression, and maybe even a limiter in there somewhere. I'm definitely compressing going in. Chronic Dream. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the tips, Chronic Dream. I really, really appreciate it. And nice having you on the stream. Always good seeing you here. And I definitely appreciate the tips and the support. It means a lot to me. Let's see if there's any other questions. Oh, Roundabout was a meme song. Maybe that's where they heard it. I don't know. My kids are into all kinds of cool music, man. It really blows me away, the stuff that they're into and the depth that they're into it and how important it is to them and all that. It's just nice to be around people and have them around me that it's as emotional and jarring and important to them as things are to me. It's weird to be around people that it's not like that for. It's definitely like that for my kids. Oh my God. Life is intense. Life is intense when you care, when you have dreams and emotions, and like your identity is tied into your dreams and stuff like that. It's not like that for everybody, but it's for my family. Wilmer says, I just ordered an 1176 clone by Lindell Audio. Cool. Wilmer, there's something called the all-in technique with an 1176. So you've got you got these different ratios. You can pick 4-1, 8-1, 12-1, and 20-1. And then there's this trick where you take your 4 fingers and you press all buttons in at the same time. And it wasn't designed that way, but that's something that's people started doing it on certain plugins. You can do that. I do that all the time. It's this crazy ass fucking setting, and I use it on vocals all the time. I make the release as fast as I can make it, which is turn the knob to the right, not the left, and then the attack like at 12, and that's a pretty standard setting for pop in your vocals to make them pop out in the mix. That's one of the biggest tricks with 1176. I used to hate 1176s, but that was because I was working in a studio, and I was able to work in a studio, Paul Diaz's Old Tree Sound, where they just let me go in there and work because they'd signed me the label, but nobody actually, they assumed I knew how they work. So I'm just thinking on the 1176, I had all the knobs backwards because it would seem like the shortest release would be to the left and longest would be to the right. It's actually, the attacks and releases are completely, the knobs turn opposite than any other compressor in the world. So I kept turning like, this thing sounds like shit. And then at some point I figured, somebody told me, it's like, oh, So now I love them. But at the time, I was like, these are the stupidest damn compressors. I don't know why anybody's using these damn things. So, best studio shirt ever. Thanks. I'm glad that you like this. I was actually going to stream like last week, and I actually hit up Harry Stark and I said, I might stream tonight. I was going to work on some parts for Aura, one of the songs I released today. So I had these ideas, but I tried them out first before I started the stream, and I realized they were all terrible ideas. So I said, fuck it, I'm not going to stream. And I actually had the shirt on and everything. I said, no, I'm not going to stream. So I saved it for today. Let's see. Any other questions? Oh, can you tell me about us who time traveled in the video now? Okay, I'll do that now, Sup Mellow. Let me go to the video. Hold on, I got to go to my other channel here. So what they're talking about is in my video, why do older records sound better? There's a very quick shot, and
James believes keeping a close watch
I was talking about how the engineers at Abbey Road Studio would wear lab coats, right? And I was like, okay, I should probably, I'm just trying to get past these damn commercials here. I should probably show a picture of people wearing lab coats at Abbey Road. So I go online. Hold on, let me find it. Hold on, I'll just play it here. I can't remember where it's at. When you have a certain kind of mindset and you put a lot of energy into making anything, there's kind of a spirit in it. Like this SSL at Tree Sound in Atlanta, Georgia. It's the first 4000 series SSL ever made, and this Neve 8078 at Blackbird Studios in Nashville. Both are one-of-a-kind consoles that have had decades of music and love flowing through them. I could feel the mojo, and you gotta have mojo. Oh, I think it's back here. Bulletproof construction as the kind of work they'd done in the past. The kind of work that people's lives depended on. Their mindset and motivation was to build things that would last a long time at the highest quality they could possibly achieve. Whereas today, it's about the race to market by focusing on the motivation of the people who created them. But I also think that when you have a certain kind of mindset and you put a lot of energy into making anything, there's kind of a spirit in it. Like this SSL at Tree Sound in Atlanta, Georgia. It's the first 4000 series SSL ever made, and this Neve 8078 at Blackbird Studios in Nashville. Both are one-of-a-kind consoles that have had decades of music and love flowing through them. I could feel the mojo, and you gotta have mojo. Studio time was incredibly expensive, not to mention the cost of tape, an engineer, a mixer, and a producer, which meant that it was usually only record labels who could afford it, and they weren't going to invest that kind of money in an artist unless they were really, really good. But more so, the musicians had to be really good because it wasn't just about the cost, but about the process itself. 313? Okay, thanks, today we have unlimited recording tracks, which not only allow you to individual guitar 26 compressor and founded Yuri and and V6 system for Queen would find in tanks and airplanes and factories, the and founded Yuri and Universal Audio. And there were many others with similar backgrounds and accomplishments. Eventually, some of them and others went on to form companies that built mixing consoles and outboard gear that other studios could just go and buy. But it wasn't accomplishments. Eventually, some of them and others... I'm not finding it. Bob's at... Go back to the picture of James Guthrie. James Guthrie. Where's this damn shot at? Hold on. I swear I made this video and I can't shot it. And I actually do want to talk about it. Now I can't fucking figure out where the hell the damn shot's at. What the hell is going on here? You said 310. That's 3. Okay, I'm at 302. Cherry 1176 compressor and founded Yuri and Universal Audio. Jesus, and there were many others with similar backgrounds and accomplishments. Eventually, some of them and others went on to form companies that built mixing consoles and outboard gear that other studios could just go and buy. But it wasn't the same as going to Guitar Center and buying a mixer there. They were building to the same specs as if they were building for themselves. I'm going to find this damn thing. And they saw the recording studio as kind of a laboratory. Oh, yeah. In fact, the engineers at Abbey Road Studios, where the Beatles recorded, wore lab coats. Okay, so this is what they're talking about. So... the engineers at Abbey Roads wore lab coats. And I had to download so many pictures to make this video because I wanted to make sure they're accurate. And plus trying to find a picture of Rupert Neve when they were young. He was young. It was so hard. So anyway, I type in Abbey Roads lab coat. And hold on. Let me go ahead and see if I can set this up here. Hold on just a sec. I was like, oh yeah, there'll be pictures. So hold on. Let me see if this app works again. Abbey Road Studio engineer lab coat. Okay, hold on. So I typed that in. Okay. So I typed in Abbey Road engineers lab coats thinking that's all I would see. But this is what I actually ended up finding. And it was like, oh my God, that's so damn funny. Hold on. Okay, so look at the results here. You see, you know, here, I'll zoom in a little bit. Pictures of people with lab coats. But right off the bat, I'm like, wait a sec. That's DJ Burn One, who's been on my live stream and wears a lab coat. And I thought, why the hell are they showing up in this search? There's a bunch of, look, there's DJ Burn One. He didn't work at Abbey Roads, but they are maybe because of the lab coats. And they've actually said in interviews, I asked him about him. He stopped by last week to pick up a pedal, and they were laughing about it. It's like, why would you show up in the search? And he's like, well, in a lot of interviews I've done, I actually mentioned Abbey Roads and the lab coat, so it somehow found the search. But here's the original picture right here of that shot, if you see here. So I thought, okay, I need some Abbey Roads people in there. And I thought, oh, wouldn't it be funny if I put DJ Burn One in the picture? And it's this right here. Oh, hold on. So I put, oh, here we go. I put him in. Oh, sorry. God, where is it? There. So there he is right there. I put him in the video. And that took a while to do. And it's funny if you look really carefully, like if I zoom in, it's like, this took forever because I had to do this masking thing. So I had to draw, like you can see through the chairs. But if I really did it right, the lab coat would be here. Right here, his leg is missing and his coat's missing. But I got the feet in there. It's actually, it was like so late at night. It was the night before I was going to put the video out. And like, I got to put DJ Burn One in this shot. You know, but I had to draw like through the damn music stands there and all that. Like, oh God, this is going to take forever. But I did enough. So in the context, yeah, if you look carefully, you can see parts of his body's missing. But like, it went by some people and they didn't even notice. And Burn One said they actually showed some friends, and at first they're like, what? You know, they didn't even catch it. And like, wait a sec, that's you. So DJ Burn One traveled in time back before they were born and was at Abbey Road Studio. So that's it. Okay, there we go. My cat's out there meowing. And hey, Billy, there's a new dog called Tape 16, which has been making the rounds on YouTube. You should check it out. I think you'd really like it. It's a tape machine. Hold on. Come on. Let me look at this. Okay, it's called Tape 16. All right, hold on. I'm going to let the cat come in a little bit. Hold on. She's scratching at the door. Come on in. You coming in? You gonna come in? Don't just sit out there. You better not pee down here. You can hang out, but you better not pee. Don't do that. Don't look at me weird. Anyway. Oh yeah, so yeah, this is a decisive 16-track tape workflow. Punching quickly, commit takes, keep momentum with, this is interesting. DAW tape workflow. And you know, the video, I've got a video though, over 1 million views on it, where I talk about how analog was better, but it wasn't about the sound. And it was literally about the workflow. And maybe I'll do a follow-up on that, because this is interesting, because I do feel like one of the main problems with modern music creation is that it's not that it's just easy to do. That's not really the issue. It's more about the process that you should just check out the video. Like, it's up on my channel. It's like one of the biggest ones I got. So if you go to the popular, it'll be first or second. But the process was different. You know, like, for instance, the reason I originally made the video, I was thinking about rewinding, because when you had tape machines, you had to rewind. So you get to the end of the song, or you get to the end of the rewinding, took a while. And it gave you a little time to, like, take a sip of something, take a breath, but now punch, 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 you know, like boom, boom. It's just like that. But also punching in, like if you wanted to, like, oh, that I messed up that part and you punched in, it's not like there was no undo button. When you punched in, it erased shit. So there's this level of commitment. You had to really be sure. You had to be on top of it. There wasn't a lot of fixing things later. That affected a lot of things. As you watch the whole video, I go really into depth about this. So this is actually very, very interesting. So I appreciate the tip on that from Vince. Yeah, Vincent. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I find ways of kind of like over the years, and a lot of it had to do with when I started live streaming and kind of getting back into getting a lot of analog gear, about the commitment, but also kind of like limitations or, you know, like making sure that I don't go overboard with things. Like, for instance, when I started live streaming, like when I work on my own music, I'll punch in and like if I'm working on the guitar part, I'll overdo it and I'll do it and go over and over. I'll do 30 fucking takes. And I realized during the live streams, I was starting to do that, and people just they don't want to watch me record the same guitar part 30 times. Like, oh, people are dropping off the stream. I want them to keep watching. Let me just get it done. And then I found out, like, man, if I just kind of like, all right, you know, sit here, I'm just gonna get it done. I'm gonna like just let me get my head there. That, man, I actually was coming up with better parts. In a weird way, sometimes they're a little more sloppy in a way, but in a cool way. Like even the song Aura, like in the video I just put out, Why Do Older Records Sound Better? There's a section in that video where I go and play the overdubs on Aura. I play them without the drums. And it's what I did on the live stream. I maybe did a couple of teeny edits, but it's basically what I did on the live stream. I was just vibing on that shit. And that shit's off as hell. So when I start playing the tracks on the video, you're going, that shit just sounds fucked up. But when you put it all together, it's like, oh my God. But if you're looking at it, you know, mathematically or technically, it's wrong, right? But with live streaming, and I was working on songs, I realized I just got to get it done quicker. So I was doing that a lot more with the Tokyo Teens and Slade. And there was this party we had, and we were listening to songs we'd all worked on, and the ones that we liked the best were the ones we'd done on live streams, or we just kind of like, we just got to get it done. We just got to get it done instead of spending forever. It really got me thinking about things and about limiting and not letting myself go overboard with trying to make things perfect. And that's what got me thinking about why I made that video, because it got me thinking about the process with analog. There's a lot of shit I hated so much about analog. I'm not even a big analog tape sound guy. Like, you people could go nuts about it. It's like, fucking A, man. I hated recording something on tape, and then you work on the song for a couple months or more, and it gets, the more you play the tape, even if you're demagnetizing the head, it's gonna wear some of the high end off of it. You can't avoid that shit. I don't care what anybody fucking says, right? And I like being able to work on a mix and then like knowing like, okay, I don't have to stay up till sunrise. I can go to sleep and the mix will be there tomorrow, instead of like, even with an old recall, like an SSL or trying to recall your gear, it never comes back. It takes forever to set up. I like being able to do that. Like, I can be working on a rough mix. I could be tracking something. I like the vibe, and I open it up and it's right where it was, even if it's a shitty mix. Sometimes that shitty mix has got something cool. I love that. Anyway, this thing here right here is pretty damn cool. So I'll check that out for sure. Let's see. I was going to see if there's any other comments, because I do actually have to go. Behringer's making a DAW? I used to hate on Behringer, but, you know, they make some things that are pretty fucking good, I got to say. You know, most of this stuff sounds pretty good nowadays. That's the weird thing about it, is, like, in the old days, like, if you could afford a good bike, cool, but there's a lot of shitty stuff out there. Maybe the best thing you could afford was a Mackie, or like, I don't know, just nowadays, man, most of these interfaces, most of the stuff sounds pretty damn good. Come on, man. Like, it might not be la-di-da, some Antelope interface, but my God, the stuff, we're recording on Porta Studios. My God, there were albums released that had been started on Porta Studios. Come on, man. Give me a break. Let's see, a beer. Wait, what about a beer? I could use a beer. I'm hoping I'm going to go out with Kit tonight, since it's our 26th year anniversary. So when she gets home, I think I'm going to insist we go out for a date or something like that. Mike Oldfield said, I want to do the best mix possible, staying up for 3 nights on end if necessary. Yeah, I mean, there is something to that, but I got to tell you, man, there is a point, like, and I used to have to do that. Like, well, I have to stay up all night because we can't just walk away from this mix now. And, you know, your ears will get fatigued. You'll make some bad decisions, and then you're running out to the car. It's like at a certain point, it's like, I would like to get some sleep. Let's just come back to this, you know. I like that. It takes some pressure. Sometimes the pressure is good, but some pressure is not good. Thanks, Robert. It's weird. I was thinking about it when Tap said that me and Kid had been married for 26 years. I was like, oh, wow, that's a long time. God. Let's see. Guitar Builder says, is there a way to find a mic for my vocal by measuring frequency response or the range of the vocal? Trying to find the right mic for my voice. That's a tough one. I've never been able to find the right mic for my voice because I've got a fucked up voice. I got all this fucking mid-range, man. I'm using, like, for my voice, for my YouTube videos, I'm using an RE20. And then I'm still hitting it with a Pro Q3 and knocking down 3.8K and a shitload of mid-range to try to smooth out my fucking voice. And I've got an older Neumann TL-M170 I like for singing. But I don't know. I mean, the only thing I could suggest is you're just going to have to try out some mics. I don't know. I mean, you could study, you know, and like hear what people say. But a good mic's a big investment. And it is an investment because I've got mics that are older than probably half the people watching this goddamn stream. And, you know, they're going to last a long time, but they're also a lot of money. So investigate, but see if there's some way to try one out and talk to people. It's a tough thing, you know. I do think some mics are definitely better for certain voices than other. Like everybody loves U87s for vocals. I'm not a huge U87 fan, and I've got a really good one back there. It just does, the high end just gets a little edgy for me, you know. Maybe if we were going to tape, it would knock some of that off. But I actually use a 103, and I've been using these Royer ribbon mics lately. I got to crank up the treble a little bit, but I love those. It's a tough thing, though. I think, yeah, you could try measuring your voice, but I would think more about the characteristic of your voice, and then just talk to a lot of people and just see what people say. But if there's any way you can try one out, or maybe even if it's that important to you, find a studio that's got the mics you're interested in and go there and pay for an hour and tell them, I'm just here to try these mics. I'll pay you for an hour studio time and just try them out and listen. That'd be the best way, because no matter what anybody says or any measuring, you're not going to know till you try that out. The other thing that's going to make a difference is what mic pre is it going through. Mic pre's make a huge, huge difference. And sometimes it's more obvious than others, but I remember being at, I think it's Mighty Fine. I can never remember the exact name of the studio. It's like Mighty Fine Productions or something like that. It's a studio in Denver that I recorded the Dusters at, and hopefully we'll be back there again. He's got these mic pre's that I think came out of Abbey Road or from that era. They're like definitely those EMI weird looking mic pre's. And I tried them on a couple mics, and I was like, man, these things, I don't know. And he's like, oh, yeah, those mic pre's only sound good on certain mics. We put it on a U87, and it was like, oh, my God, this is amazing. But it sounded like a different mic pre on different mics. And certain mic pre's, like these Neve clones that I have here. Let's see if we can see this or not. Let me take these little stickers off. Oh, hold on. Dang, this thing's freaking out on me. Hold on. Well, hold on. I got to do something here. My camera's freaking out for some damn reason here. Oh, it's not working. Damn it. Hold on. One second. Let me show you these real quick. And I talk about these a lot on my live stream. I don't know if somebody said they don't make these anymore, but these guys right here, take these little stickers off from the session I was on. I actually don't usually put tape on my mic pre's. I just memorize them, but I had somebody here working with me and they needed to. So, excuse me, these pre's here, they have something on it called a bias switch. So it's like goes from I think 300 to 1200 something. I don't know. But it actually changes the characteristic of the mic pre. You don't normally see those on mic pre's. And, so think about what mic pre you're using. So if you can find a place you can try out mics with that mic. I know it's asking a lot, but I wish I could tell you more. It's a tough thing, though, to get a mic that's the best for your voice, And don't think, and it's not always about the price. Like I said, the RE20, I've been using that, and I've actually done some like singing vocals with it. And it's not an expensive mic compared to other mics, and I love the sound of it. Let's see. AKG. Wilmer, I'm not a huge fan of AKG 414s on vocals. I tried them. I think it's kind of a boring mic. It's great for certain things. I've just never been now for rock vocals, you might even consider like an SM7, like what you see all these podcasters using. You try Shure SM7. They're not as expensive either. You're not going to get that crispy top end on it, but man, on some people, that's the mic for vocals. It's a good mic for rock vocals. People use them a lot. Apex 210 ribbon mic is good. At least I don't sound like John Malkovich. Does John Malkovich sound weird? I don't know. Let's see. Warren Hurt and Glenn Flicker says the mic preamp doesn't make a lot of difference. Well, and that's an interesting thing, Wilmer. I did a deep dive on my Patreon, and I know I'm not been keeping up on my Patreon. I apologize with it. I'm just trying to do a lot of things, but somebody asked about that, so I did a live stream where I think I did it with guitar, and I used the same mic, and I went through every mic pre that I had in here and played the same part. It's not the most scientific thing because, the performance can make a difference. But I was actually kind of blown away by how different the mic pre's did actually sound. But you got to be able to A-B them real quickly. It's not like you can plug in the guitar and then go to another one and go, But it blew me away. I was like, oh, actually, they do make a big difference. And for instance, this thing over here, this is the Universal Audio Twinfinity here. And it's got this thing where it's got this little knob that lets you switch between tube and transistor, and I thought, oh, that's just some fancy shit, right? I'm sweeping it back and forth. But when I did the deep dive, I did one side all the way to one side. And I recorded one guitar part, and then I switched it to the other side. And it was like, oh, God, it is hugely different, Like, I guess just even twisting the knob, it kind of like it's slow enough that it transitions. But yeah, mic pre's do make a big difference. Not always. But microphones, definitely the microphone makes way bigger difference for sure. But there is something, and I'm not an electronics guy. I couldn't tell you like precisely like, the ohmage or fucking voltage resistance, fucking whatever. I don't know. But certain mic pre's work better with certain mics for some reason. I couldn't tell you why. I just know that's how it is. So, Yes, ribbon mics are definitely way more effective than other mics. Yes, gotta crank those suckers up or get yourself one of these. Like for my YouTube videos, I use this Royer. It's basically like a cloud lifter. The guy at Royer said this is actually, they kind of invented that technology. So this is more of an original version of that. I would use this when I'm doing drums, but usually when I'm using drums, I've got 2 ribbon mics. And I've only got one of these. They sent me this, but I definitely use it on my YouTube videos. If I'm doing a single ribbon mic, I'll use a little booster thing like that. It helps, helps a lot. Let's see, what else do we got here? Okay, I'm just going to say, I don't understand y'all's names. Anyway, speaking about mics, what would you be your minimum amount of mics to record drums? My idea going to practice studio to do the recording. So, boy. That's a terrible question to ask me because if I'm in a studio and I've got the inputs, I'm gonna have a stupid amount of mics on the drums. Like I have a kick mic, I have a top snare mic, bottom snare mic, mic on each tom, left and right overhead, hi-hat mic, ride cymbal mic, room mics, 2 room mics. Then I might have, I've got this little trick I do where I stick one mono overhead the snare drum and I distort it. It's this thing I do and whatever. I might not use all those mics, and I might even have more. I might stick a crotch mic in there where you stick the mic down over the kick drum, or I might take one of my cheap, like, thrift store microphones and put it out in the room as a lo-fi mic. I might have fucking 25 fucking mics or whatever. I'm not going to use all of them in the mix, but it's cool to have those choices because sometimes it's like, oh, I want to do something here. I might have a cross stick mic, like, the drummers, snare drums play. I think it's called cross stick, where they lay the stick on the drum, so the back of the stick's on the head, and then they tap it. And the snare mic doesn't usually pick that up, so I have another mic coming over the kick drum pointing at that spot. I have a stupid amount, but some of those mics only turn on when that's happening. If he's on the cross stick, that mic's getting muted the rest of the time. Ride cymbal mic, it's off unless he's hitting the ride cymbal. Hi-hat mic, depending, like sometimes guys are over hitting the hi-hat, motherfucker stays off. But if they're doing a delicate thing, I can turn it on. But on the other hand, there's some people that swear by the 3 mic drum technique, which I've done a couple times on, productions that weren't so dense. And that if you're in a good room, that's a great thing. Where you have the 1 mic out front, and you have the 2 mics. You got one like over the snare drum, and then one kind of back by the tom, and you take a tape measure and you measure them so that there's some difference from the snare head. That shit can work. And then I did some stuff with Sleepyhead, who called me up during the live stream, and we were just recording in this room back here. And I was doing the wackiest shit. I was just in this, like, I just wanted it to sound like a garage band. I was like, hey, let's just pretend that we don't know what the fuck we're doing. So I stuck a mic on the kick drum and snare, and then I had 1 room mic, and then I had 1 overhead. Might have tom mics. Then I stuck a mic over here, and then the garage is next to that. So I stuck a mic in the garage and left the door open, so the sound of the drums is going in the garage. It's kind of fucked up, but I just did everything completely, like, I just kind of said, I'm like, whatever. Let's pretend we don't know what we're doing. That shit came out sounding great. It was really, really cool. So it's just whatever. But a minimum of 3 mics. My only problem with the 3 mic technique is that I could never get quite that boominess out of the toms that I want. That's the only thing I don't like. So I've done a project where I had 3 mics. I did the 3 mic technique, and then I close mic'd the toms, and then I left them on, except for me hit the toms, because I just wanted that low end. Okay. Okay, so Wilmer says, I do watch these videos every now and then when people are comparing different types of gear, and the comments are usually like, this sounds slightly different, but you got to listen carefully. If you have to listen carefully, what the fuck does it matter? It may not. The different, and I hear what you're saying, because sometimes I've made videos. I made one where I had my friend Jimmy Botsford and Tokyo Teens. I said, hey, in this video, let's have you sing into a bunch of different mics. And his voice sounded almost exactly the same on all of them. And I realized he has no high end in his voice. There's no high end. He's got this deep voice. It's like, shit, right? You could hear a big difference, like the SM7 sounded more crunchier, but people were listening to the video going, oh my God, that sounds, I think that people imagine shit half the time. Yeah, there's a little difference, but it was remarkable how much his voice sounded the same on all the mics. I'm like, well, fucking, what does it fucking matter, right? Where are all the cats in here? Get out of here. What the hell are you doing? Get out of here. Go on. And, but it is cumulative. Like, for instance, you might hear, like a Neve clone mic pre. Neves are kind of fuzzy, and by you compare it to something else, it's like, oh yeah, slightly different. But by the time you add up 20 tracks of the shit, that's where the difference matters. The difference is usually in the cumulative use of it. Sometimes it is big difference. But on the other hand, it's kind of like I got to interview Brendan O'Brien years ago. He like Beato interviewed him. I actually interviewed Brendan O'Brien years for him. Probably we're the only 2 guys in the world to interview this guy. And but I did it for the Recording Academy. It was a private event, so it's not on YouTube. But there's always this thing, people said, oh, Brendan does this, Brendan does that, whatever. And I'd heard it for years. So when I had him on stage with me, because it was a live event, I said, hey, you know, people say you use this kind of amp and you use this kind of mic on a guitar. What amplifier do you use and what microphone do you use on guitar when you're recording? And his answer was, I use the one that's hooked up. I was like, oh, shit. Because his point was, when you're creating, let's just get it down. And I'm like that as well. And I see your questions. I'm gonna swing back to that in a second. But there is a certain point when I'm working, like if there's a very specific thing, even if it's a slight difference, but I know something else is gonna happen, yeah, I'll pick something. But man, there's a lot of times I'm just trying to get something done. It's like, I'll just fucking use that, whatever. So sometimes it doesn't matter. In the end, the main thing that matters is the emotion and the performance. That's it. Doesn't fucking matter. Other thing, you'd be surprised the shit I've heard. I was talking about, I worked with this guy, Skip Pitts. And Skip Pitts died a few years ago. All of y'all probably heard Skip Pitts. All that wah-wah stuff on the Isaac Hayes records, like the Shaft records, like that's Skip Pitts. He invented that sound. And I got, excuse me, let me get a drink or something. So I got to work with Skip Pitts when I was working with Al Capone. And it's like, oh my God, Skip Pitts coming out. So I got these mics ready for him to go. He walked in with his guitar, a cheap distortion box, and a wah-wah pedal. And he just said, oh, just hook it into the board. I'm like, don't you have a mixer? He's like, oh no, he had a little delay pedal. So he plugged into the board, and I'm thinking like, this sounds like shit. What the fuck is this guy? You know, is he like senile now? Because he's really old. But once we put the music on and he started playing, I'm like, that's that fucking sound. This dude's just been plugging into the board this whole fucking time, you know? And it was like, oh my God, it was all in the performance. The sound was kind of shitty, but once he started playing, it didn't sound like a shitty sound. I mean, it did. It was a shitty sound, but the way he played it, you didn't notice it as being shitty. I don't know how to say it. So, you know, that kind of got me thinking like, whatever, man. Let's see. Okay, so DJ Loopbeat says, have you heard of EA Ski? Of course I have. And Tom Tilby Mike Pre, I don't know who Tom, but the B50 is, well, hold on, let me look at about that. B50 Mike Pre. Oh, here we go. Secret project. I just want to see a picture of it. Yeah, I'm looking it up now. I heard them talking about it on Instagram and I hadn't really looked it up. And where is I just want to see a picture of it. Is that it there? Oh.
Hi everybody, my name is Tom Lukens, and I've been. They put me on.
I saw this video.
50. As you see, this is the red one, but we have a black one. So the ones that's for purchase is the black and red, but this is the boss.
Wait, seems a little blurry. Why can't I?
This is for the boss, you know. So the boss have to have the red one.
Oh, is that like a 500
the red
series?
Ones will actually be coming out probably in the summer. You know, special edition for the red ones. So anybody that's interested in the red ones can get them. But at the end of the day, you know, saying it was just all about just trying to take the sound to the next level. And the stuff that we did with them is incredible. Mr. Whedbee is a genius at what he's done, as far as with his Mo 67, his Mo 05.
Yeah,
he has
I'll look into that. I am supposed to get a mic pre from somebody. I'm actually not supposed to talk about it, but somebody I know is making. They've made stuff for me before. They're making a mic pre, and I'm hopefully going to be able to try that out. And what kind of board do they have, though? They got a Trident. Yeah, he's cool. Oh, thanks, Mr. Easy JK. Appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I'm. Yeah, it looks like a 500 series. Let me see if there's any other questions. Yes, psychoacoustics. Your ears can be tricked. That's why I walk out of the room a lot. I take a lot of breaks and I walk outside. and reset my ears. Yes, you're right. KG Fikel 2586. Yes, non-binary tap is. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I've been talking a lot. Let's see. Boy, there's a lot of stuff on here. I don't know if I can get to everything. No, I don't go to NAM. I'm usually working. It's kind of, I don't go to NAM. I'm not a gear guy like a lot of people. Like, people are like always looking at gear. See, I mean, people think of me as a mixer and an engineer and producer, and I mean, yeah, I do those things, but my mentality is more like an artist. I just want to create shit. The only time I look up gear is when I need to buy something. Oh, I need more mic pre's. I need some compressors. I'll go research them, and I'll look into them, and then I buy them, and I fucking forget about that shit, and I just use them. Because, I mean, gear's cool, but I'm not really into, I don't want to spend a bunch of time looking at a bunch of gear, and, oh, hold on, is he... that I can't afford, and somebody's texting. Somebody's texting about the live stream, but they're in a session, so they can't talk on the stream. I don't understand how they're doing that, but they are. Anyway, another engineer is asking me questions. Yeah, if I go to NAM, I'm just gonna see all this shit I can't buy, and I'm gonna go home feeling like shit. And gear to me, it's good to learn about the new stuff, but I'm literally I'm just working all the time. I'm either creating or doing sessions, and then when I need to buy something, I to be honest with you, I know people that are into that shit, so I just call them up. I'm like, hey, Jason, I'm looking for a blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, you looking for, I'm like, well, I kind of want something that, da. And they'll be like, well, this thing will do this and this will do this. And like when I bought my, I remember I needed better mic pre's for drums because I was building my studio up. So I needed something that was good for kick and snare. So and this is what I use here. I've got these API 512Cs. And so, but I was like, man, I could go look up online. But I just called my buddy Rusty Cobb, he doesn't engineer anymore, but engineers around town. And he said, well, just get yourself a lunchbox, get a 512C for your kick drum, and a 512C for your snare drum, and then another one for your bottom snare drum mic, and then one for your outside kick mic. And then get this EQ for your kick drum, this graphic, which I love, and all the frequencies are in the right places, and then get this EQ is a lot of money right here. Get that for your snare, although I don't really use it that much. He says, there's your fucking snare drum rig right there, although it's good for other things. So I just called them up, and they knew, because they're the kind of people that look at that. So, okay, I'll just take your advice, And then when I needed to buy, I've never actually been able to afford needs, but when I wanted something that sounded kind of Navy sounding, I just called Jim Zappano, and he said, get yourself a Focusrite ISA 110. It's kind of Navy sounding. So I just bought one of those. And this is actually one of the original ones made. They're not like the ones you see online that, other Focusrites that look like this. This is actually a whole different beast here. These are like literally the very first ones that came out, and they're kind of special. And that sucker is amazing sounding. So I just called him up. So that's how I am. If I go out to California, I'm more likely gonna want to just go ride my car around or something like that, and then go to NAM. It's just me. I mean, it's just I don't. Going to NAM is like going to a strip bar and seeing all these hot chicks, and you ain't going home with any of them. So why go? You know what I'm saying? Let's see. What else we got here? Let's see. Okay, I don't even know what the hell you are. There's sometimes I look up at the chat. I'm like, there's other conversations going on here, and I'm not even sure what I'm missing things. So, yeah. Let me go back a little bit. But I actually, tap left and got a sandwich, and I'm starving right now. So I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go eat in a little while. Oh, hold on, let me close this right here. Let me mute that there. So hopefully I picked up some subscribers on my Billy Hume music channel. So, whoops, let me pause that. Yeah, I got a few. I'm up to 271 subscribers over there. But yeah, if y'all could go check out the Billy Hume music channel, that'd be awesome. I'm going to be putting out more music, and that was part of what today was about, announcing that I'm putting out music now. And I got these 2 out now. There's more to come. I just gotta get them done and all that, along with everything else. And if y'all could give me some love over there, I'd really appreciate it. I didn't want to put out music videos on this regular channel because this is about different stuff. I didn't, people come to hear me talk about music production, all that. I don't necessarily want to put my music on them. They may not like it. So that's why I'm putting it over there. I just wanted to keep them separate, just seemed to make more sense to me. Let's see. I don't have a date yet. My wife keeps saying, oh, thanks, Michael. My wife keeps saying, Billy's going to put out an album this year, but it's everything's taken so long. I'll be putting out more songs. I don't know if I'll have the whole album out this year, just to be realistic. I would have to put out one song per month at this point in time. And I'm barely able to get a damn YouTube video done once per month with everything I got going on in my life. I do it all by myself. I don't have... Harper comes in sometimes on the streams, but I pretty much, Griff helps me with some of the, Tap helps me with some of the filming, but, and the songs are mostly done, but I got I want to have videos with him. So it's just a lot of stuff to do. I mean, y'all know, man, just trying to get it all done. So, but it'll be, it'll be some point, you're just going to have to keep an eye on it. And, I'm trying to get merch together and all that. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff in addition to, keeping sessions going. And I've actually gotten booked a lot lately. I got to get some mixes done, and I got to do some editing tonight, I'm sure. And, having a family and trying to have a relationship with my wife and stuff like that. A lot of stuff to do. Not to mention, I have I got a house I got to paint. I got to work on my yard. Yesterday, I should have been working on stuff, and I went outside and I thought, I'm trying to work on the property, and I was just doing, I don't even want to talk about what it's it's stuff that doesn't matter. It's I like vines. I like vines, and I should be cutting the vines, but I actually started angling the vines. It's hard to explain. I was messing with vines. That's all I'm saying, okay? I was messing with vines, just because I love vines. I spent 2 hours screwing around with vines, walking through the woods barefooted, and then I came back in. Yeah, boy. And also the bees. The bees, we got 4 beehives now, and the bees are taking off, so that's been another thing. My kid does most of that, but I had to help her catch her some swarms. We had 2 swarms, and I had to go catch her these swarms, and then had to set up some more bee stands, and now I'm going to have to make some more boxes because we got more beehives, which is great because now we got all this honey, but it's just another goddamn thing to do. Let's see. The Heart Song. Hearts Aligned. That, so somebody's asking about the Heart Song. I have a song called Hearts Aligned that I've worked on the stream. That song's pretty much done. I want to make a video for it. One of my kids, Wizolfo, said they're going to do a 3D animation of it, but once we started, it's a big deal. It's a lot. That's probably the thing that's going to hold that one up. I was actually going to release that this month, but I think I'm going to put it off a little bit. And I want to get some merch. I have no freaking merch, and I just so much stuff I got to get together. Yeah. Yeah, you spend 2 days pulling the weeds. That's the other thing about nature. Shit grows. That shit grows. And I've been trying to actually, not to get to talking about the yard, but I've been out there. When I started the YouTube channel, I ignored my yard, and then I literally had a forest, had 20-foot tall trees because these goddamn sweet gums. And it took me, oh my God, it was so now I'm out there now, trying to keep shit down. I let a lot of shit grow. We live out in the country, but there's certain areas I need to keep up with stuff because it was getting insane. So this year I'm trying to like get a head start on shit growing, because unless you live in the country, you don't know. Yeah, you see a grass grow, but when you live in the country, you'd be surprised how fast trees grow. Kind of amazing. All right. What? Regardless of what era, what song was recorded, mixed on, what's your favorite sounding record of all time? Oh, you know what? Interesting. One of my favorite sounding records is Peter Frampton Comes Alive. I always loved the sound of that thing. This has got this cool, wide open sound to it. I like the way you can hear the audience. Although I actually talked to the guy who recorded and mixed it, and he said some of the audience sounds were, I wish he'd never told me that. He said, yeah, we couldn't get, some of the shows didn't have good audience sound, so we got some from other shows and dropped them in there. It's like, oh, I wish you'd never told me that, because that was one of my favorite things about the way that record sounded. But it is a great, I just like the sound of that record. I like Katie Lang, Ingenue is to me one of the most amazingly produced and mixed and structured and arranged albums of all fucking time. Ingenue is just absolutely, oh my God, incredible. And of course, Dark Side of the Moon, you know. Most people don't know about that album by Katie Lang. She's not like famous, like in certain circles, but if you ever get a chance, even if you don't like the music, listen to it. It's just, it's insane. It's everything's on there. Let's see. Yes, I probably will have vinyl copies of the album. Wait, who am I looking up again? And now there's just so much going on. Hold on. Now I got people texting me again. I've gotten more text during this live stream than... Oh, wait, what's this? All right, I'll check that out. Let's go. I'll check that out later. I got to go eat. I got to get something. Okay, so I know there's more questions and stuff. Yes, the ambience on Peter Frampton Comes Alive. It's crazy. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to split because I've got to eat something and I do have more work. And then when Kit gets home, I think we're gonna go out on an anniversary date. 26 years married, so I think we're gonna do that tonight. So yes, Dark Side of the Moon was recorded on some pretty imperfect equipment, but it didn't matter because it was amazing. So anyway, thanks everybody so much for watching and looking at the videos. Thanks to everybody who subscribed to my Billy Hume music channel. I really appreciate it. I think I'm going to come back next week and I might be working on a song. Don't hold me to that. I'm kind of behind on things and I got to get I'm working on these Mike Clark Jr. mixes now, and Collie Parks is a bunch of mixes going on. So, but I'll let y'all know. I think on the next stream, I'll probably be singing on this other song. In the meantime, y'all, thanks so much. Be creative, be good to each other, and always be unique. I'll see you later. Till next time. See ya. Bye. Take 2, take 3, take 4, take 5, take whatever.